All right, welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Oh, here, real.
It's Q.
And we back. Got another good episode lined up. Before we get started, want to tell everybody to tap in with us on all social at the To Be Fair Show. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Hit the like button, comment below, hit the subscribe button. You'll catch us here every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. And hop in the chat. The chat be lit.
Chat be big lit.
Chat be big lit. Get in the argument, do whatever you want to do in the chat. We're going to get started.
Big lit like a lesbian?
I don't know. I'll let you start with that one, but I guess we're gonna kick it off with. I don't get that one. I don't get that one.
It's playing on lit and lick.
I'll go. Let's get started. So I guess the big one of the week was your boy Shannon Sharp, Skip.
Skip.
He's in a little mess right now.
Little mess.
A big mess, $50 million mess. A $50 million mess. And it's been I ain't necessarily like the conversations around it. And I just want to ask, are we victim blaming when it comes down to him? And
to him?
Are you saying he's the victim?
He's the one getting sued, and I think everybody knows that like it's kind of a money grab. Like I think everybody knows it's like him being exploited for his money. And then on the back end, we're sitting and talking about what he's done and hasn't done, as far as like he hasn't done anything illegal.
Okay.
But we're sitting and talking about what he chooses to do in his private life, even though he's the one that's having to pay $50 million. And I just want to know, are we like doing some of the stuff that we, say we shouldn't do when it comes to women as far as victim blaming? But he seems like a victim to me. And I just want to know, are we being a little too tough on him?
And you're saying, just to make sure, you're saying that the grounds that make it victim blaming is because it wasn't illegal?
But I mean, do you not think he's being exploited for his money right now?
I believe that it's definitely a money play. I mean, but
so that makes you a victim. If you're being blackmailed, if you're being exploited for money, I think that makes you a victim in some capacity.
I may be missing some portions of the story. So what exactly happened?
Well, I mean, he and the girl, I don't know if it's the same girl from the video, but he's been messing with a 20-year-old. I think she's 22 now, but apparently she's accused him of sexual assault. And I guess if you went the text messages, they had phone calls that come out. Apparently it was a lot of freaky play. They was kind of playing into the black, the I guess it's called race play. They was kind of playing.
I saw that.
Cleared up, not slave play.
Not slave play.
But my bad, he did walk that back also, because I guess it was whips involved.
Oh wow!
I mean that's 50 Shades of Gray. That's like that ain't slave.
All
play.
I'm saying is my dog David Walker.
So he was playing like
too.
the yes sir role, like the yes sir. He was doing all of that.
I don't know. He also has in that clip that I played.
Know if it was all of that.
In the clip that I played, he said that you have a 10-minute sex tape of me engaging in every stereotype you could think of. Just make sure you play the entire thing.
She called
I don't know what.
N-word.
Yeah, like I went. Like, that's such a wild thing to even like say. Hey, you got one that has me doing every stereotype. What does that even look like?
Why you say sex tape?
That's what
he said. He
called it a sex tape.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that part.
I probably got the thing inside. Let me see if I can find it.
But he said that's a victim. Like he's being exploited. Like they blackmailing him.
See, the thing is,
but the story is he shouldn't have been messing with such and such, and while that may be true, but what he did wasn't illegal. He's not being prosecuted in criminal court. And I think like just like if anybody else, whatever you do behind closed doors is your business.
And I guess to me, the sticky part is starting off by, all right. So for me, I'm gonna reserve the idea of giving anybody like victim status on either side of it until even more information comes out. Because every time more information comes, it's like, well. So I'm in the middle on if it's like true or false or whatever. Because like from Wednesday to now, there's been the text messages where she spoke about like you did this and this and this. Outside of my like, and you heard me say stop. I didn't want to do it, and Shannon's response was, "I'm about to call you. Pick up your phone," or something like that, which seems like an interesting response to that as well. where like I don't know where their line was. So for me, it's hard for me to just put the victim part on it.
But
when she said like you forced you, like I said, I didn't want to do anal.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, so I didn't see that part.
Yeah,
I saw that part.
Yeah, I said I didn't want to do anal.
I didn't.
You forced yourself on me and did it anyway.
That's
and then he didn't say like we were playing, we were doing X, Y, Z. He said pick up your phone, and I'm like, huh? Well, that's a weird way to. Yeah, and so it's so much information that I have to wait to see come out. I just know the facts of the case are the ones that I try and engage with, which is the age difference, which is, of course, like you do have the Tony Bugsby angle.
Yeah.
The fact that Shannon tried to settle before it went public. What's the other parts to it? Yeah, I mean, obviously wild freaky boy. He also does have accusations of choking from what is it, like a Fox News anchor as well. I don't know. Like it just seems like it's a lot of shit.
Are you talking about the girl with
is that Fox News or ESPN? I forget whoever.
I know
it
you
is.
talk about. I remember.
But yeah, like so. The more
Joyce,
the more information that comes out is like, huh? Like I don't know where it specifically lands, and I just have to wait. But there's a lot of information that I can have opinions on that are like in front and factual at the moment.
So he's been accused of assault before.
I don't know if she's pressed charges, but it like in the sense of like maybe it was choking or grabbing her butt. It was something dealing with that.
And in this case, now one of the things I did hear about this is the girl came back after the fact of she still kept going back to him after the fact of what she said she didn't want to happen.
Maybe I haven't. I'm gonna rely on my guys right here.
Yeah. I mean, if you making money, that's easy to you know what I mean. I would believe that she didn't just stop all communication right when she, you know what I mean, when I said don't do this. Yeah, that's generally, you know, she was getting paid. There was benefits, you know what I mean. So I doubt she was cutting them off before they, you know what I mean, before he would decide to cut
I
them
guess off. Is the like I don't know a lot about it. Just kind of what I got from earshots of conversations and what we talked about on Unpack. But is the case saying that she like broke up or they stopped because he was raping her, or like what is the framing of the case? Does anybody know?
I don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know when they stopped messing around. I know they
it was like 2 years though that they had.
Yeah, I know
around.
they were dealing with each other for a little minute,
and
then I don't know when they stopped doing, but then apparently they've she come out with these allegations.
Y'all let us know in the comments if you do know, but we do got a few comments saying what, like telling about everything. So
you gonna read them?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through these. I'm definitely sick of the way America holds court of public opinion with the smallest amount of information.
Hey, I can tell you this too. The old niggas, shout to Unc. The old niggas is not riding, bro, with this whole public opinion of her being too young and all. They not riding with that.
I want to have that conversation in a second. Let's hold.
Okay.
I want to have that
because I actually got a meme that goes into it. But go ahead.
I want to have that conversation. You're not a victim when you paying for cooch. You have to be smarter. People need to stop passing judgment without knowing. Go mess with some real pros. Them OF girls not serious. You got zero discretion.
Nah, that's
he paid for it, but she said no, she needed to give him the money back, but he shouldn't have forced himself on her if he did that. Or if he did do that.
It's a double edge right there.
Say my man need a
refund him for the rape. That's great.
She got to prorate that. She
gotta put some interest on
it. That's the crazy reason to laugh. But it is. When you think about it.
He said whatever happened.
I apologize.
He said whatever happened to men with money going to get escorts. At least they are professionals at what they do.
But he was having a relationship with this girl, wasn't it? It wasn't just like
we don't know that part though. We don't know that part. You know what I mean? Just because of the length of time, we would assume that it was more than just, you know what I mean? But it could have been just.
I don't think that you just like randomly tell women that you're gonna put that big black baby.
Like you don't
say that, and they ain't gonna be like you're gonna be stuck with this. You better make sure you want to do it.
You ain't gonna say that to the girl you paying to be there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, apparently.
And I also wouldn't be getting so upset because what she say, manipulate.
Yeah, and then he
like
was
that sound like relationship shit. Like she done said that enough times to annoy him. He was like, G said it wasn't aggressive, so I'll try and say.
My thing is I've seen that it was aggressive, bro. It was aggressive. He was hot. Hey, somebody, you didn't really sound like he was mad. No, he was hot. Like that was his trigger word. He was hot about that shit.
Choke you.
He said, "I'm gonna choke the shit out of you."
Goddamn country list dropped on that part, boy.
Yeah, he was hot. He definitely was hot.
Steve say, "Uncle always talk about tricking on the podcast." On this podcast, yeah.
Steve say, "Hey, Uncle, do she still got a Ruge?"
Somebody that shit be fucking weak.
Yeah, no, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, like, okay, so I seem like.
Where do we want to start the conversation at? I feel like the victim part might end up needing to be the end, or do you want to start there?
Yeah. I think we could get there eventually because I think we need to flesh out because apparently, I guess there's more text messages come out since I've last looked as far as the specific, allegations. Like I didn't know about the
anal part.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like he a wild freaky boy.
Yeah. I ain't seen that.
Maybe he's into BDSM. And maybe he crossed the lines sometimes. I don't know. That's the closest I can get to it. Like the two ways I see it is that for her, it could have been a really smart play because of with BDSM and safe words and all that shit. But especially if you're recording it, it leaves a version of a gray area because of it's supposed to be like these different dynamics and power plays and different shit like that, right?
But I got a thing though, because like even that's what you're into, right? That's some freaky, the angles say FB, but that's Freaky Boy Olympics. Like you doing some wild shit. Like
what did you say last time? You called it the FBA, but I ain't know.
We ain't gotta go there.
Straight hit you in the side.
Get his ass. Chat, get him.
The Freaky Boy Olympics,
FBO, man.
The FBO. We ain't gotta go into that. But like, if that's what you're into, the BDM, the 50 Shades of Grey, all that freaky shit, like. Yeah. If you cross the line on that, that's different than like a true, like you're meeting a stranger or like some of she was drunk and passed out. Like there's a different line. Like, yes, you might have crossed the boundary, but there's a relationship there where that's totally different than like some predatory date rape type shit where you just meeting a stranger.
Yeah, it's different, but I imagine you're not just like saying that. Because you know him and y'all cool.
Well, no, but I'm saying there's
if you a freaky boy, then I mean that's the type of shit y'all do.
It's a fine line that you're dealing with anyway. And if you cross that line, that's way different than like a hard boundary.
But I guess like I'm trying to understand what's your overall point is that
I don't think there's nothing illegal done, and like they might have done
if you do like let's just say if she say she don't want to do anal, even though y'all have rough sex, when she say. Now, I'm actually not trying to do anal, and then you do it. But because y'all already have been popping,
well, no, that's
sometimes
wrong.
You choke her.
Like that's wrong. like that's wrong. Like that's wrong. Like
help explain because
I
don't know what line you standing on.
I see where you were.
That part is wrong. Like I just want to put that is wrong. Like,
right.
That you can't.
But see, the thing is, what he said,
hard boundary. But I think they had less hard boundaries where they were getting freaky and choking and there might have been other lines. But if the hard boundaries crossed. Yeah, that's wrong. I'll leave it.
But see, what Q is saying is that like when you start to introduce these different like role playing and all this different kinky shit, then like how do you know does a third party know how to take the communication between,
especially if it's recorded and you able to chop out certain parts.
You see so what I'm saying?
This like whatever's happening in the words could be in or out of context,
right? And
that's where, in my opinion, we have to kind of sit back and see a little bit. Because it sounds like he on some wild freaky bullshit.
Steve said he might have thought they were still in character.
Right?
that's what we literally said.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. But that's totally different. And like, yes, that's wrong.
Right, but I guess Johnny, I don't think anybody's saying this is the same as date rape. So I don't think we have to put this at that part.
Okay.
We're not making that point.
Okay. But it's still not worth like even if you did cross a boundary, I think like the ask that $50 million.
Well, Shannon does feel like it's worth at least 10 million. That's what he threw out.
That's for privacy and like discretion. That ain't necessarily just for the accusation. That's still necessarily like, I just think it's a little, and I just think like we're jumping on both sides.
Hey,
you didn't even know what
LTO. Look at LTO.
What she say?
LTO said
safe words. Pineapples.
If she said pineapple, I believe her more.
Yeah, we go.
So you gotta have a safe word when you start doing all that extra shit.
And that's why, like, I'm be interested as
like,
more tapes come out, because he is an old what is he? Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia boy.
I think it's
like,
Georgia. I think he's
like
South. Georgia
he was a 90s NFL player. Like, that's a little different.
That was the prime time to be an NFL player back in the 90s.
Yeah,
that was the prime time.
Like, talk about freaky bullshit. Them niggas was showering naked in front of all the niggas. These niggas got a little CTE on them.
But if she really wanted to get away, she could have ran. He couldn't catch her, bro.
They was hitting niggas with smelling salt back then.
If she'd have ran, he couldn't catch her, bro.
I don't know about
you see his legs? His knees is fucked up,
might
bro.
Have bad knees then, probably.
Not now. He fucked up. You ain't seen him? He goddamn.
I know he fucked up.
Niggas saw when he hopped out that motherfucking escalator. He went chasing.
Yeah, he ain't chasing.
I know nigga be working out all the time still.
But that's just upper body shit.
Yeah,
okay,
he can grab upper body. He can grab it and hold it, but also like
if she take off, the accusations is about grabbing and holding.
Grabbing and holding.
We should be laughing about that.
No, it's not funny, but it is funny. You can make jokes about it that make it funny, but it's not funny.
No, it's like foreplay and that kind of role play stuff. That's what the safe word is for. That little day.
No, I mean that's
what I'm saying. Like, it's such I'm making as far as like, thing. But that's the point I'm making as far as like you was in a blurred line situation where like how are we to say what's wrong and what's right if that's something that's discussed between those two people? And and then on the counter end, like if that's something that she was uncomfortable, that's not worth you coming and trying to exploit me for like my resources, even because we just had like maybe like something that might have been like misconstrued as a miscommunication, or I don't think that's worth. And I think that's
bro. I think what I'm telling you is that
situation.
like stereotype play is worth 10 million. Fuck it.
Race play is worth.
Where my FBA dogs at? Like, that's off code. I ain't rolling with it. If I hear him damn, like how would you do slave play? Like he like
she's calling you the hard R.
Yes, mistress.
No, that's
that's why. Like this,
because you know he had to be the field nigga inside that.
We got to be careful because we
don't
want Master to catch.
So when she was whipping him with the whips,
like imagine,
was she hitting him with the whips,
or do you think he went Jim Crow black?
That man was like, I know you.
Which virgin black?
I know you, Master.
And you know what's so sick? She probably had Unc sneaking in his own mansion.
That nigga did 10 laps around the house just to come in like
this man acting like it ain't his house.
That man said, I'm about to sneak up there and get some of Master's wife.
That's your house, big dog.
My thing
he done with me one time.
My thing is like, I don't know no 19-year-old that's saying baby gravy. That sounds like something he told her to say.
Yeah, nah, that's crazy.
Hold on, what was it?
That's crazy, bro.
Give me that baby gravy.
She said that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did she say it in like a country voice?
Well, this is it through text messages.
Oh,
I can't put the voice on it.
But my thing too, though, is like
with all of the jokes that they were laughing at that shit. Baby gravy.
And with all of the jokes, there had to be a time where a red flag when I was like, okay, this shit's too far. Like at some point, you have to think like, what does this look like? If people see this, what does this look like?
Probably, but
like you have to think like that, bro. That's too much.
You know what exactly what it looked like.
That's his bag.
It looked like what it like. If you see a big old black man with a young even if it's like down the street, you know what time it is.
Yeah, but it ain't necessarily that time.
If you see it at Walmart or Target, you know what's going on there.
But I don't know that it's whips
and it's role play.
You don't know to what extent, but you know it's there's hints of that going on there. That's
I just know
that he's probably he's spending money to pop.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's no freaky shit.
Well, yeah, but I think he's tricking. There's tricking that's going on.
Yeah, but that's the rest of the story.
That's what I'm
saying. We
ain't
even made it to tricking yet.
Oh, okay. I'll jump.
We only on freaky bullshit. I don't know when I see the old young Joan that he's asking her to do freaky shit. I think he might probably just get off a good little 3 minutes of like some regular shit. And
then
you know what I mean?
Send on her way.
How you capping my dog in 3 minutes?
Like she gonna send him on his way.
Okay, bro.
Well, I'm saying like he paying for that new traction with the Ruge.
That Ruge. Yeah. that Ruge get it done in 3 minutes. Now, if it ain't got no rule game, you might be 10 to 15.
Yeah, nah.
All right. So did you wanted to? So, one of y'all wanted to introduce the age part to it? It seemed like somebody said.
Oh yeah, this was just something that like as men, because we did Who You Talking To last night. This was another angle that me and O had went into it. So I guess once Tone can do his fucking job.
I'm doing much.
Hey, calm down on Tone. Tone's gonna make an appearance on camera.
All right.
Tone ain't ready for that kind of smoke.
We finna go viral.
I got in my memes. It's the where we at? It says that should 18 be? It's talking about the age of consent.
Oh, okay. Let me go here.
It's saying they should raise it up.
Well, it's just we were just gonna pose the question.
Where is yours?
It's right above Nelly.
Okay, right here.
Person on the internet, whatever, it's probably people are saying this, but this needs to be said.
No, that's not.
We have to separate black.
No, that's not it. Why does that look like that? No, that's a good one. I'll play that one on my memes. I don't know why. Refresh it.
Yeah, you said above Nelly.
Yeah. If film pop up, I'm just gonna say the John.
So yeah, what he's trying to
yeah, that's crazy that you got a different one than I got. But essentially what they were saying is should the age of consent be should we raise the age of consent?
Raise the age of consent.
I have a more interesting question.
To what? To 21?
Question.
Or just to
maybe 21. I'm just asking the question, just posing the question. Because of a situation like this, where we know this little girl, like y'all said on Unpack, like she could have been at prom a couple months ago. Not even a year ago. It could have been a few months ago.
Bro,
depending on
public opinion. When you was young, what age did you think you was old enough to make decisions for yourself, or that you was responsible?
But that's what the law is for. The law is to acknowledge that we know that you're not old enough to make these decisions, though this age says that you are. We know that you're not.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it raising to 21. Like, I mean, because that makes sense, because that's when you can't but I think everything should go to 21 though. Like,
yeah, they already did the cigarettes. We got alcohol there. Military is not there.
Military moved up to 21.
No, military's not there. That's the only thing that's not.
But yeah, I think they also.
Like,
I don't mind that. I think until you're 21. I mean, I think science says up until 25.
Yeah.
But I think 21 is close enough to where you can you're coming around to starting to think more like an adult.
But literally,
I think 19 you're still a child.
Okay, that's a child. That's the thing. I think that you're a child at 19.
Just looking at right now, when you was 18, do you think you was responsible enough to make the decision if you wanted to have sex with a 35-year-old woman?
I mean, I was responsible enough to make certain decisions at 18, I believe, but
answer his direct question. You just said something different.
Yeah, you like when you personally were 18, even if whether you did it or not, do you think you were responsible enough in your
as a man process? Yes, I don't feel like, I mean,
no, you would have made just because you made the decision don't mean that you were responsible. Of course you would have made the decision. That don't mean that we had the wherewithal to make a mature decision on whether you should do it or not. You 18, you gonna pop just because
so you trying to say men should have that choice but not women?
No, I'm just saying, you asked me whether I was
I'm really asking everybody. I want to hear everybody's answer.
But I think I was, and I think it had partly to do with me being a man. But I don't think that is a decision. I think you should push it back to 21. I don't think I was ready.
And when we say the age of consent, that would mean that if how does it typically work? Like, if you're 21 and older, you shouldn't be sleeping with anybody that's 20 and under.
Right. That's how the age of consent works. Even like now, the 18-year-old is not supposed to have a relationship with a 16-year-old, 17-year-old.
But they can do it if they were dating previous to that or something like that, right?
I think it goes up to 4 years, or so.
The gap.
Maybe, if y'all date, I don't know.
But I know that if it's
because I think the age of consent is
it's some shit like that.
It used to be 16, didn't it? And then it switched to 18.
Is it 18? I think it's 16.
It's still so why do people get mad if
because
is it 16 or 18? Because people say you got to wait till she's 18
for what? Like I don't know that part.
Like for girls to be like,
and I think it varies by state as well.
It does. So the first thing that came up, it says is for whatever reason, fucking AI decided to show California. I don't know what that, but it says in California, the age of consent is 18 years old, meaning anyone under that age cannot legally consent to sexual activity. This means that any sexual activity with the minor is considered statutory rape unless two individuals are married.
Okay.
But you could get married.
But there's places that have that's at 16 as well.
Let's look up the age of consent here.
But
by state,
I guess like we're asking, should it?
In North Carolina it's 16.
Okay.
Along with a lot of different states.
So I'm still asking the same question I was asking. At 18, when you was okay, looking back now, if like knowing everything that you know, when you were 18, do you think that you were mature enough, or like because this is good. My Sharon said that don't make a person mature by raising the age of consent. You have to know right from wrong. So at age 18, do you think you was mature enough to be having sex with a 35-year-old?
I mean, I think I was mature enough to make the decision to have sex, whether I knew and like just to have like autonomy over my body. Now, whether was I smart enough to understand like all the repercussions that could possibly come with it and all of that? Of course not. I was still young, but I think I was old enough to make autonomous decisions.
I don't understand how you can make. I'm sorry, Q. I got you. But how can you make both of those statements at the same time? I was mature enough to do the thing, but not mature enough to understand the consequences or the possible consequences. So you're mature enough to do the act, but not mature enough to deal with the. Well, no,
I was responsible enough to deal with any consequences that came up. I just didn't completely understand.
I get what you're saying.
And that's not. But like, you can make a lot of decisions without understanding all the ramifications there's no
way you know the consequences of what's going to happen with a 35-year-old at 18. You don't know that type of stuff until
go ahead. Q had something.
I guess my autonomy over like my body.
I guess as I'm thinking about it, if we're like changing things, what I would probably want to do would be like, so I'm not as let me see how I can frame this properly. On its face, I think saying going to 21, like I can understand what the point is and where it makes sense. But I also would be like that's such a weird concept in the sense of like if we just put college inside the bowl, for example, where now you have a bunch of 19 and 20-year-olds with 21 and 22-year-olds and like just messing with an underclassman in college would now be it just becomes
legal.
Yeah, it'd be like such a weird little messy thing. What I think that if there was to be a rule placed, I do think that the amount of age gap should matter. And that should be whether if we're going to legislate something. I don't think that like 35 should be legally able to talk to a 19-year-old. I think that that's kind of wild. I don't think that it makes that much sense. What's a good age gap?
Yesterday Tyron said he like 10 years up and 10 years down. That was a comment that Tyron left on the pod yesterday. 10 years up and 10 years down.
But at what
I'm not saying that I agree. That's just something that you know what I mean. You were looking at a range.
To me, I think that even if we went 4, I'm cool with 4 for sure. Because that means like that to me, if I'm just thinking about like how school works.
No, that's too like that. Hold on. We can't that's too minimal because you gotta I think that the old head should still be able to get him a young but not too young.
Let me clarify. I would say like that 4-year until you get to like if we're saying 21 or something like that.
Okay.
Or 25 or something.
Yeah, like whatever the age that we think that it makes sense. After that, it's fair game.
I could agree. Okay,
so there's
at 25, 4 years,
or even 21 or 22, like whatever you want, whatever you feel. Go ahead, Tom.
There's a reason I keep asking the same question because the more important question is what age do you have autonomy over your own body? Like if you're 18 and you want to have sex with a 35-year-old and they're willing, if you like say a person is 18 and they want to do that, and the 35-year-old will do that, and they both two willing parties, who's to say anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's without all of the freaky boy shit. That's the situation where it's with Unc is it. Well, now I can't even call it.
There are a lot.
Shannon Sharp is in because it's still at the end of the day. There's a piece for me moral wise. I think that like though you're getting yourself exploited by paying, but you're taking advantage of the fact that she just doesn't know any better.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where it's still exploitative on both sides.
I'm saying, but does she not know?
At 18, 19, you do not, you don't have the
well, I can't say like she does it.
She this girl, I'm not.
I think that she's more incentivized to do it.
This girl knows because I think
It seemed like she ran a play.
I also don't think put the play all the way together. Like she was gonna go and get, you know what I mean?
Like
the whole bag.
They both can't be exploited.
Like I guess I also don't think that. The best way I could put it is that I think that some 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds can be like completely young and dumb, and then some can be like scheming and conniving. Mm-hmm. So like I don't know where I'm placing her at, but it could be either one of it. And so I wouldn't just completely just put her on like the she didn't know any better.
Status revoked.
But yeah, I guess going to it, like you are asking, I guess, the important question, which is, do we agree or disagree that at, let's say 18, because I imagine nobody's saying 17, 16, anything like that. Right. If at 18 you should have sexual autonomy of how you should be able to choose. To me, I would say I think 4 years up, I'm cool with it. I think when the age gap gets too hard, I don't think that it's really necessary.
So you don't think an 18-year-old should be able to mess with a 25-year-old or a 24-year-old?
Nah, I don't care for it.
Yeah, I mean, it just sets itself up. Like, I think that once you get to a certain
25-year-old ass need to just date somebody. Man, you 2 years like a super or your goddamn age,
bro. I agree, but I'm saying if you're
like, why do my bad? Y'all about to give me on the range because it's like, why do niggas gotta date these young ass girls? This shit don't even make, bro.
I agree with
but like, okay, what about 23?
That's like, cool. Your 25-year-old date a 23-year-old.
No, I guess.
But I'm saying, but they're both young at that age. You could be a senior in college and a freshman at college. That shit.
Yeah, your senior ass, like, bro. I don't know. Maybe what you say about porn? We need to bring back shaming. Like we used to the senior and super seniors on the yard that was like hanging out at the freshman dorm. Like we used to talk shit about.
Yeah.
That wasn't like something you was like, hey, you got that young pussy. And I was like, bro, it's legal, but this kind of weird, bro. Like why the fuck? Like you obviously can't get some shit, and that's the problem.
Personal opinions aside, though, legally, what should be the thing? Like.
Oh no, I said my legal take.
So I think that should be like 4 years.
4 years
until a certain age.
Up till 21, 22. And then from there, the age gap.
So I don't necessarily care. When I was 18, bro, if I wanted to have sex with a 24-year-old or 25-year-old, I don't care what nobody got to say. Like when I was 18, if that's what I wanted,
when I was 18, I feel you.
I would have been down for it, and I wouldn't have no regrets about it right now.
Yeah, but then if that person ended up exploiting you and fucking you over, to me, I would just more prefer.
There'd be lessons about learning. Like you decided to mess with an older woman, that's the risk you take. A woman decided, like I don't like.
But like your 18-year-old risk is gonna be different than your 25-year-old risk. Like you have more life experience outside the house. I agree,
but still at 18, I knew what I was doing. Like
you want to protect your right to
get to drop the older joint.
It's not even that. It's not even that.
See, young niggas don't gotta fuck older girls and older women, or like if it's a girl. Like to me, just date it somewhere around your age. It's gonna be all right until you get to 21. The thing is, then you can smoke cigarettes, you can drink liquor, and fuck older bitches. It's all right.
I think that's cool. I ain't mad at you with that. See, the thing is, it's tough until you flip it on its head and you talking about your daughter at 18. You know what I mean? When you throw it off of us, because as a man, you talking about when I turn 18. Yeah, I'm trying to pop the 30-year-old. I'm trying to pop.
I'm trying to
if she going, I'm going. If they really at 18, and see
but it's a lot of 22 and under.
Yeah, but it's
really good. You can't tell no 18-year-old not to get the.
If she throwing the oop,
if she throwing it,
you dunking that bitch.
You slamming it. You might throw it off the backboard.
But then
NBA Jam, nigga might cut a couple flips.
Listen, that's cool. But then we can't get on these podcasts and start complaining about these old head women that's exploiting these young boys right now. Like we done seen the Anthony Edwards, the Jalen Green, the LaMelo Ball. Like we can go down the line. Like to me, we can't have it both ways. Again, we all want to work. Want to work out our lust addictions and shit like that. But like, if I'm making an objective opinion, I can go 3 years legally popping whatchamacallit.
Hey, but and you know the funniest thing? It's funny to hear them like be on that side, but the old heads, them niggas is not trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, old niggas fuck young girls.
Yeah, they definitely.
Their money go a lot further.
Definitely.
Especially
Motherfucker got a house.
But that's my whole thing. If them girls,
$100 be different to a 40-year-old
they can decide about abortions. They can decide about everything else. If they 20 years old and they want to have sex with a 40-year-old man, bro. I'm not for that. I personally don't want no 20-year-old.
I don't believe it,
bro.
He's speaking with too much conviction.
No, it's the legal perspective of things, though. It's the whole legal perspective.
What if it's a 40-year-old woman and a 20-year-old man? You for that?
Man, if I'm 20 years old, if she wanted,
no, but what about
the 20-year-old?
I knew what I was doing.
What about your 20-year-old daughter fucking the 40-year-old?
By the time my daughter is 20, I hope she's mature enough to make the decision. Like that, she 20, she grown, bro. Like we can't control everything. You don't own people, bro.
But if your 20-year-old daughter bring that 40-year-old to Thanksgiving,
bro, I might not like it, but the whole thing is,
if I get to choose the laws,
as long as he ain't beating her and he ain't putting his hands on her, like man,
I'm gonna tell her get somebody your own age. Why the fuck you fucking with this old ass nigga?
No, but see, sir, I think it's just the gap. It's the gap. Like the 10 years up, 10 years down. I ain't really mad at but it should start at a certain age though. Like, you should get. There should be a
maybe
basement.
25. It starts making sense.
Yeah. It should be a basement.
You might squeeze the 22. I mean 20. I say 24. I think 23 and 33 is fairly large too.
Yeah, 22.
Would you think that should be illegal?
It's just mindset based.
Like no, to me, as I said, this is just mine. Y'all can throw out your own parameters. I think that 18 is legal age of should be legal age of consent. 4 years up from there, I think that it's cool and it's not exploitative. Once you hit 21, do what the fuck you want. If we're gonna let niggas drink, smoke,
I ain't mad at that,
and
bro.
do like all the other activities at that age, cool. Like, but
that sounds fair.
That's fair. It's fair enough. I feel like that's fair enough.
That sounds fair. And
so at 24, you should have full sexual autonomy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. 21.
Now I
have to word it that way in order to understand. Like,
yeah, he said 21. You should have full sexual autonomy.
Yeah.
Okay, 21. So
once you can drink and smoke.
So you 21, then you can decide to have sex with a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay. I can feel that. I'm not mad at that.
Okay. No, I mean,
I just wanted to understand the answer of where y'all thought that autonomy fell at. Like that's what age did it fall at to where you able to make the decisions of what you want to do? Because I'm like,
yeah, but see, even
so, can I ask a question?
But
so like you say, like
26, that's cool.
That's what I was about to say. 26 is cool. Like for 26 and 36, you're making that it's not necessarily exploitative. You're making a decision. You know what I mean?
You've
based
been
on sustainability,
and
you're actually able to make a mature decision. They say the frontal cortex is fully developed at 25
to 27,
25 to 27.
Yeah,
and so like you know what I mean? That makes sense. I don't feel like that's like, you know what I mean, something to be.
Yeah, but I'm trying to represent for the young boys who want to get these cougars out here that want to throw it.
I don't care.
But hold on, but hold on. That's because I when you first asked me the question, that's where I stood as far as like I went back to USC freshman year. I was like,
you had a cougar, professor.
Hey, tell them be asking all your
business, bro.
You gotta tell them all your business, bro.
Come on, Tony. That's on a good clip.
You gotta catch
I threw that alley into the about to go viral.
And you love what Johnny, when you ask him some shit, did Johnny pause for a second?
Yeah, you know you about to go viral. Tone stepped on that viral moment just then.
But I wasn't gonna do it. But so like,
nah, he was gonna go.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I know what you were saying as far as like when you're young, you feel like you got like you want to make that decision. You feel like you're ready to make that decision.
That's because you dumb. You don't know that you're not ready yet. That's the way. That's why you feel that way.
You ain't paid rent yet.
That's that dumb shit. That's that dumb shit. I get it. That's that dumb shit. But so do you think like, cause like Steve said it, like we were just on here talking about the women getting on Anthony Edwards. Do you feel like there should be any kind of boundaries to keep men, especially like you got these athletes and stuff that get exploited every day? Do you think like there should, for that aspect, you think there should be a boundary on it just to protect ourselves?
Bro, I think you got to like I can agree with the 21 thing. That's a fair thought. Like, but I think like 21 years, like, bro, if like by the time your child should know, like 15 and all that stuff, you should understand. So you should begin to at least understand stuff about sex and everything. Like if you're gonna be participating in sex or anything
15,
at all.
16,
hear what I'm saying, bro, before you cut it off. Hear what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like I'm talking about by that. You should be learning this stuff already. So by the time that you're 18, 19, 20, like you're able to make these decisions on your own. I'm not saying you should be having sex at 15. What I'm saying is you should be learning.
People are going to have sex regardless.
I'm not rolling only because of, I think within your age range, sure, because of like you're exploring and everybody's exploring like their relationship with sex and like how that whether it makes you do or don't do certain things. Somebody that's, let's say, 35 completely understands how to use sex
and how to manipulate you with the shit. Yeah.
And I think that's different. And to me, like that's the biggest part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Because that 30-year-old woman gonna throw that Thundercat.
What she throw that Thundercat? You gonna move in at 18? You don't know what to do. Your whole head.
Like, know what to do with some.
And the thing is, like college kids, they gonna fuck a bunch. They gonna learn like how to get sprung off pussy. They gonna learn how to not get sprung off pussy.
Right.
Like it's gonna be a bunch of things that you're gonna learn in it.
You're gonna automatically.
But if somebody already got full control and autonomy and
just imagine you fresh, you done had what you done dropped probably what about two, 3 bodies, and then this 35-year-old woman get hold to you.
And the Thundercat still got some Ruge on
there. Hey, what they say? She eating cherries and shit.
How Stella got her groove back. Y'all ever watched that movie?
Yeah.
Was she wrong?
How old was bruh?
I think he was 23.
And she was like 40, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, what did she do to bro? Did she just leave bro at the end and get? I don't remember.
Damn, how did they end up breaking up?
I might have only watched it once.
I've seen it a few times.
All I remember, she had that old dude standing under the balcony. He was
20.
Oh, she fell in love with a 20-year-old man. She was 40 and she fell in love with a 20-year-old man.
Yeah, she was in that pipe. That useful pipe be different.
By my rules, I think
he could be the victim here. He's the one get like you talking about. He's the one getting exploited.
Matter of fact, she was 42.
It was pretty much the same story.
It's that Thundercat.
Because I think that he ended up coming back and living with her, didn't he? At a point that he had moved, came. I think he came back and lived with her.
Again, inside my world, that wouldn't be allowed.
Bro, Steve be funny, bro.
What Steve say?
He said, men don't think they can be exploited, and that's why they end up in crazy situations.
No, that's true.
He said, I had a partner in college with a 28-year-old. She had that nigga crying a month straight.
Facts. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, no, for sure. For sure.
Fucking heartbroken, bro.
Bro, I was 25. I was 25 with a 30-year-old, and I wasn't ready for it.
Oh man, his shit.
But my thing is like, now bringing it back to Shannon. The issue is that these 19-year-olds are starting to get a hold of these 56-year-olds, and I don't know if it's a goddamn TikTok dances that's doing it.
I don't know why he would want to do that either.
Yeah, like. He trying to impregnate the motherfucker, give her that big black baby
in you.
Put that gravy babe. What is it? Baby
he told her she was gonna be stuck with it.
No, she told him.
She
told him he was gonna be stuck with it.
Oh yeah, he's stupid.
And that's what like
he's stupid.
I don't even understand the Shannon thing because Shannon, he was an NFL player. But I guess Shannon's story also is don't he got like 2 or 3 daughters that's all around the same age? Yeah. Like he's been a wild non-pull-out boy.
And then he's not just a dummy. You know what I mean? Shannon is sharp. You know what I mean?
No pun intended.
I would say I was around 21 years old, met an older stripper. She knew how to smoke cigarettes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I was grown man, but never touched that ever again. That's too good a Ruge.
Oh my god!
Hey, them cougars that smoke cigarettes be they be the.
Shout out to my Newport 100 Bulls.
Oh man, she knew how to smoke cigarettes.
Stupid. You know what I
mean? It's stupid, bro.
Hey, y'all can unk out the chat.
The chat, bro.
What you call it? That gorilla? Uncle know what I'm talking about. That gorilla.
That's a damn fool, bro.
Yeah, stupid.
Bro, the chat done been funny today, bro.
Oh man, that's a good one. Shoot, man. So where we've landed at? So like we think.
I guess you wanted to ask us about him being a victim.
Well, we can circle back to there because we're talking about young men being victims, and now we're talking about you just even kind of alluded to as far as like these young girls, like the younger generation, smarter, and I think they are taking advantage. And I think Unc he fell for the okie doke, and instead of us sitting here trying to shame the guy. I think this should be a learning lesson for a lot of people, and like you should
I think the learning lesson is stop fucking
with little girls, bro.
Girls is 40 years
exactly.
Your senior.
You're not a victim, nigga. You made a bad fucking
decision. If you the old nigga getting exploited, that's on you, bro.
Exactly. What we?
That's how I feel about it.
I agree. I agree 100%. How we gonna? He's a victim.
At least nigga doing the exploiting is bad.
You're supposed to at least get some paperwork signed. Like, look, I expect I'm gonna give you this money, but if you say a word about this,
why are you recording?
Yeah. Why are you recording stuff? Yeah. Why?
It's like mad
then you go back. It's like, okay, so was the first little the audio tape, was that an accident for real? Or you just doing? Are you just? This is what it is.
Yeah, at a certain age,
you know what I mean?
He too old to be
freaky boy shit.
A victim. Like he is.
He too old.
Victim of this specifically.
This specifically.
Like you paying to play. Yeah, my bad. If you just tricking, I don't know. Yeah, either it was a trick situation or escort situation. But either way, if you're doing either one of those, especially with this version of an age gap, throw them to the wolves, in my opinion.
Yeah. You gotta wear what you know what I mean? You gotta wear it, bro.
So Unc status officially revoked.
Unc status revoked, bro. That's Shannon.
He Mr. Sharp now.
He said one, she an OnlyFans girl and she's selling box. You asking to be extorted.
No, fact.
Yeah, that's what I don't be understanding it. And that's what I'm saying. This is what I be saying to all the guys. We be having some guys on Unpack that like want to justify big age gap relationships. The reality is one person's playing the game no matter what. Typically it's going to be the younger person where they're pretending to like you until they can get specific assets.
Well, I mean, it depends on. See, also you talking about if we're talking about on regular folk level. If you're talking about up there at that level, she damn sure is going. She's in it to get what she's going to get.
You don't really see like
regular people.
You see like 20 to 30 year gaps.
Oh no, you don't see that with
like it's rare.
I was just thinking like
you don't hear about them. They exist. You just don't. They don't publicize it. They be in private.
Yeah,
but I guess like from
that
like
actually exists.
I'm sure that there's some that
exists, but like
no, I'm saying like, it's more common than you would think it is.
I don't like. I see like the tricking part. Sometimes you see like a little older with the younger at a restaurant, but
they be in
of like everybody that I know that since our relationships, it don't ever really be like that crazy. It'd be like maybe you can think of one out of like 60, 70 people you might know maybe.
As a
that's a big ass maybe.
Yeah, an actual relationship. Yeah, you don't see that often.
Tricking.
But I know them older niggas will got them trick and shoot a couple quarters for the box. They definitely
when she ain't showing who she on vacation with.
They'll definitely shoot a couple quarters.
Bro,
that nigga either BBW.
Bro.
Can a man be BBW?
Oh no,
BBW. Because like when they go on the trips, it's either an old nigga or it's a BBW nigga. That's why they don't show him in the camera.
They can't put.
Hey, that gotta suck to be that guy.
They can't put
the nigga that can't make the pictures. The nigga don't make the real. That's fucked up.
That be the nigga taking the picture. That be the most depressing part. She make him take the picture.
That's crazy, bro.
But the game would be she probably also takes some pictures with him.
She just don't post them.
You don't post those.
Yeah, them motherfuckers don't hit social.
And he can't post them neither.
he don't got them motherfuckers. Those is in her
it's
camera.
on her phone.
It's on her phone.
His wife will see the motherfuckers. That's the blackmail though. Like I'll show your wife.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then you done. Then you done. You don't come up with the bread one time. Now your wife see the picture.
Amen.
Now you fucked up.
And now you losing half and all
that
shit.
Half. Well, I'm gonna say y'all want to switch it over to Ye.
You
hold on before we get there. I got a quick. Have y'all listened to that JID that JID?
Oh yeah, the new JID
that work. Yeah. It's work, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That motherfucker tough, bro.
In my opinion, I think that
no. That's like the hardest single I've heard.
This is also a random tangent. I feel like we should have put this at the end of this section. But I did listen to it, and he's rapping as good as any rapper's rapping. Like if I was to like that put flow? some money down on like
the Futures,
one of them guys, I'm putting like a decent little investment.
You taking option
on JID.
On JID.
Like, the song almost sounded like it was supposed to start off as like a twerk song or something.
Yeah.
And then the nigga just went rapper mode.
I'm like what the?
No,
the eyes came Terminator eyes. Man.
Well, I was almost.
And you know he get in the pocket and he find that motherfucker.
I was almost mad because it did sound like a twerk song. I was like, why JID?
And then I was trying to figure out what
he just started rapping.
It was like, damn, because all of it felt like twerk. And it felt like twerk. And then it was like, even that, get your ass up.
Yeah. And then
he said, what did he say? Rapping. Something about, Well, I don't even remember the first how he came. The flow he was on was just tough from the beginning. That shit was tough.
Yeah, I would also say I think that he has the most creative flows.
Oh no,
but the thing
is
is that with most rappers, when they get really creative flows, their bars be trash. But with him, he has tier 1 level bars also. He has the entendres, the metaphors. He even started it off with like a little number scheme. Like, I forget what it was like. I had to be in 1955, driving down 85 with a 55. And I'm like, God. Nigga, damn.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, that song I've been waking up and playing. I don't even play music in the morning when I get up now, but when I'm driving the Mustang to work, bro, I bump that every morning on the way on repeat, bro, just to get myself motherfucking
get my ass to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with it. That was our music intermission for the moment.
My bad. Go ahead, Johnny.
You was about to say how Ye was
I seen a comment in there too. That's a good one. We ain't touch on that though.
Pause.
What's that?
Pause. Yeah, pause.
Which one is
yo. But Bill Belichick got a 20. He got a 50-year age gap between him and his girlfriend.
Okay,
yeah, but do
you want us to be like it's fine or something? What you want us to say?
Well, I think people should talk shit about him, but she's like
he ain't got exploited yet. That's the only problem.
Yeah, we just wait. It ain't gonna be long. It ain't gonna be too long.
Whenever the exploitation happens.
Yeah. Don't say gotcha, bitch. The same thing.
He got paperwork signed. He
probably did it the right way. He probably did do it the right way.
Yeah, but do I think that he should be doing it? No.
Yeah, same thing. I agree.
But he got a front and stage on she's like official but nobody talks about that at all. I think it's just interesting how
nobody
cared about Shannon until he got exploited with slaves.
But then Shannon is just really he's had a really high height right here in this moment. This is his moment right here.
She controller Bill with that Ruge.
Remote control, boy.
Yeah, Bill, he ain't out here interviewing.
She made his ass go back to college. Oh, man.
She made him get it. She made him go back to get a job again.
Yeah.
She was like, "Hey, bro, these bills. What we gonna do?" Motherfuckers
took that nigga back on campus. In 3 years, she gonna leave him for a football player that was already there. Don't worry about it.
Yep,
that's talking about a come up. Ain't somebody gonna kill it.
Y'all remember what happened to Steve Nash?
Oh man. Yeah, so we moving on to Ye, right?
You don't know. Okay, don't worry.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I do know. That's fucked up. That's cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded.
That motherfucker was community box.
That motherfucker had a leader. The fucking he had a
that was Steve Nash, old lady. It was his old lady.
Oh, no, what I'm saying is that his wife, when he was with a specific team, became community box for the team.
For the team, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I didn't know that they had a baby and the baby came out black.
Oh yeah, somebody ass getting whooped.
Yeah. This nigga went.
Y'all niggas trying this shit out of me, bro.
But imagine you go to practice the next day and you got a black baby. Like,
that's what you win an MVP and your baby come out black is crazy.
No, that's
like you won an MVP and you got a black baby as a white man.
That was for that stolen MVP. He stole the MVP.
And that was
the nigga that pop said this for
Kobe. That's crazy.
Well, yeah. So because I don't necessarily. So we'll turn the camera on Ye and say, is he being victim blamed now?
Victim blamed.
How?
I guess what people would say, and maybe this lends a bit into the corn conversation. I ain't saying I agree or disagree. But with him being a minor exposed to sexually explicit material, of course, in a scenario, he was 6 years older. So he was also what's the difference with victim and you have the predator? Yeah. So one could say that, you know what I mean, if you want to put predator on like a kid, he was also the predator in the scenario, but because of him being exposed to the material, he might be a victim.
So we saying that because he found the tape. Because he found the tape.
I think it was a magazine. These were still pictures.
Okay. Well, because he found the magazine, he's a victim. That what you going with, Johnny?
Why you asking me?
Nigga, because it seems like this was your take.
My question was for Shannon. I ain't never want to put this on Ye because I think Ye's the predator. And because we all found them magazines, we all found them little VCSs. And Ye tried to spin the victim thing and said, I found this and this. I had to reenact it with you ain't have to do that. Like you was just like you ain't have to go and reenact that with your little cousin. That's a dude. So I think he is more
Well,
Now,
that's crazy to have gay corn in the.
I don't think it was
How
gay
much
during
older
that
was he
time
than his
period. It's
cousin?
crazy. I
How
ain't
much
know that was.
older was he than his
Wait a
cousin?
minute.
'Cause his cousin was
Hey,
6
time
years.
out. Was he saying it was gay corn or was
Yeah, because he said that his mom had something different than what his dad had, and so that the difference was it was the, you know what I mean, the community corn.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't never found no corn like that. So
I ain't never found no corn like that.
corn. I
either.
thought we were talking about regular corn.
No,
I thought we were talking about corn.
So
on the
what?
cob.
He was 12 years old.
Now, this was
though.
corn in the cob, right?
I'm trying to make sure. That was a good one.
That was fucking
He was
hilarious.
so he was 12 years old and his cousin was 6.
Yeah, I know
Was
the
it- I thought
age
it was
gap is 6 years,
16.
so I don't know when they started.
And he
and
said he
stopped.
stopped when he was 14.
I think he said he stopped when
The cousin was 14. So that means he was.
So I don't know when he
So,
started.
so that means he was 20 doing this.
yeah.
Okay.
That's a predator.
Yeah.
If you're 20 and the cousin's 14,
And he said it like it was like a AA meeting.
like,
I'm gay, not my cousin
Until he was
14.
like that, you're a predator.
That's what he said.
I
I ain't
that-
see it. I ain't see it. I
That's
didn't
the
listen
end
to
of
the song
tweet.
either.
No, I ain't listened to the song. That's the end of the tweet.
Oh, I didn't see the tweet.
So, like to me, I don't think we can
I'm
victim
gay,
blame him
And I
because I
sucked
think
my cousins until he was 14.
I think
Yeah, but I do think
he's
that
not
what
the
Trey was
victim.
saying about it, I think that he is probably, or it ain't no telling what yay, but it does seem to me that he is like be rabbit in this situation. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put, okay, I'm coming up against y'all, so I know that this right here will be the very thing that
That's
you'll
a crazy
use.
skeleton.
So I'll go ahead and.
That's
But I mean, at the end of the day, if you turn as many tables over as he trying to
he
turn
was
over,
talking
then you
about
might as
being
well
white
go ahead.
trash and living with his mom. He wasn't
But
talking
what
about
take-
like no.
My bad. What is Kanye's goal right now? He ain't like fighting for black liberation.
Yeah, I guess just the shit on
Like, what is his
That's-
mission right now? I don't know. Besides
know.
like being
like
virally wild,
like yeah,
what is he fighting?
like
for?
what's the bigger like I don't see the vision no more. Like what part does this play in like whatever vision?
No.
I'm gonna put the clan mask on to show him. Like, what that mean?
Show us
Yeah, the
what.
Clan Mass joint. I did watch that interview too with him and Academic.
That was a wild one.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch, honestly. It was like
Well, I was just listening to it, so I didn't really see him.
Yeah,
It was almost
When he
just
came
me
in,
imagining.
he
it.
opened the door with regular clothes on.
Yeah, and went and changed.
And
now
then
he
said,
opened
"Hey."
the door with a Sean John shirt on, which which was staged.
Yeah.
Like that's
He said,
there's
"Hey, hold
meaning,
my beer.
there's meaning behind that too."
Let me come out here.
He literally said,
I'm at my clan outfit. Don't let me show my chain. That's a swastika. But let's continue.
"Let's
the
see,
interview.
but it is a swastika, just so you know."
Yeah, it's like, bro,
just so
right,
you
man.
know, it's a swastika under here,
All
which is stupid, bro. Which is stupid. But so we don't think Kanye's being victim blamed. That was easy.
especially once.
No, when he
Nah,
gets
it's
about
hard
this,
to get.
when he talks about like the whole thing with Kim and his daughter, and like
Ain't
you
no
know
victim
what
shit.
I'm saying is that like I'm not saying that. Well, I guess that's just a part of your life not being perfect. I mean, a lot of people go through that whole separation
But he
shit. And don't get
chose,
the kids.
Like, what was her history prior to him?
Oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, that
Like,
was a
she had a
dumbass pick.
sex tape and
Yeah.
she cheated on her husband to leave him.
Yeah.
You chose to have kids with her.
Yeah.
Like,
But
what would you?
And niggas
I
be
mean,
looking at her like
but-
she's the
but-
baddest Joan too. Like, why I hear people, the guys like talk
Hey,
about it
but I'm
like she's
saying-
like the baddest woman.
But I'm saying we would not say that if
It's
a
like-
woman got drunk and went to a frat party and passed out and something happened to her. We wouldn't be like, well, she was drunk.
Hold on, what happened now? What
like,
are you talking
where
about?
are you making this comparison?
Yeah, what are you talking
Because
about?
you
Nobody was intoxicated in
What are
it.
you talking
But,
about,
but no,
Jack?
you're blaming all the things he did wrong, and then you're like, well, he did this, he
But
did that.
he didn't
did
say
that, so-
because of like he was drunk or nothing.
But no, I'm saying, but
Make
that's,
just make a regular comparison.
but I'm saying
Yeah.
that's a victim blaming. You're like you changed all the things that he couldn't have did.
No, but he wasn't
I'm
wasn't
talking about in the
intoxicated.
Kim K shit.
Like, it would clearly be wrong if a bunch of guys raped a drunk, passed out girl.
Or if a bunch
I
of
don't know
girls
how
drink-
you would like compare
Well,
that to
I
Kanye
don't-
shit.
I don't-
because you're comparing. To
Well, you saying that it wouldn't be wrong?
No, it'll be wrong, but I'll just imagine being the guy. Is
See,
like,
he's about a victim blamer. See, he's about
No,
I don't
I'm not
even get
victim
this point.
blaming.
I'm not rolling with this point at all.
no. What I'm saying is, I just had to sit there and think about like being the guy, not passed out drunk, because you're gonna have to be.
See,
conscious.
Hey, bro, we can just move. That was a bad example. This is
Okay, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, bro. If you sober fucking a drunk ass girl, bro, that shit's nasty work. I'm not.
Oh yeah,
with it.
no, that's not.
I'm not
I'm not
comparing
hold
that.
on, there's nothing
If
that I
she
said that
sleep
made y'all
passed
feel
out,
that way,
that's
right?
even nasty.
Hold on, let's just make sure. Let me clarify this.
Okay,
just to make
clarify
sure.
this point.
What the fuck? What made you feel that I was saying that? That
That was
definitely
the
was.
example I said, and then you was like, "Wow."
No. Oh,
Is that what it sounded like?
No,
you was trying to
is
do?
that what y'all? That's definitely not what the fuck I was saying.
Clarify what you were saying.
No, what I was saying was when he said we was flipping it from the girl being, because I don't even know why he used a female in the whole scenario when we're talking about Ye.
When we talk about victim blaming, that's
but you made her drunk at a
right.
I don't know how that point.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's not like
what I was saying was being the guy you drunk at the sorority party. Then now you start to, you know what I mean? If it's me,
and you got bust down by like 50 sorority girls,
bust down.
That's a terrible
word. No, the issue would be like if you do that and she ends up pregnant and keeping the baby.
Oh no, yeah. Now
he's like, nah.
Y'all add some extra levels to the shit. That ain't what I was.
That's the only way where it kind of like makes sense to.
Oh yeah, it was a bad example that Johnny used to begin with. Yeah, but I just once he said you at the sorority party, and I was just back in the day just thinking of how.
Now you would love the sex
if I was a victim or not.
The fact that if she kept
imagine if two of them got pregnant.
Oh yeah, no, you fuck. Yeah, you can just be one got pregnant, but that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, it was a bad example, Johnny.
I admitted that, bro. We have gotten past.
It's fucking terrible.
Bad example.
All right, it sounded like you was making that example to justify Ye in some kind of way,
or not justifying, but I'm saying, but you was talking about like everything that happened to him because he chose Kim K, and like it was just a bad, decision. Yeah, it was
a terrible decision.
It was a bad example. It was a bad.
Yeah,
example.
in my opinion, like
I don't want to justify.
If I'm still trying to figure out, if you're 12 years old, you decide to mess with your 6-year-old cousin because you. That's what baffles me. Like he was still 6, bro. Like
again, I think that
and you did it
seems like we all kind of like land on he not a victim.
Yeah,
in this scenario,
for sure.
Gotta beat that horse.
You found the joint, then decided, that sounds like a good idea.
Come here, buddy.
Fuck no.
Then you told about it, and your cousin probably didn't even want this to be known.
Well, his cousin
he's in jail.
Yeah, but he probably still didn't want it to be known.
Didn't he like what is he in jail
Murdered his wife or something?
That's what I thought it was.
Like clearly, you traumatized this kid.
Yeah, and he probably locked up. And now these people
like,
found.
Hold on.
Man, like, hey, that's Kanye's cousin.
That's Kanye's cousin.
Hey, but hold on. Are we saying that he probably killed his? Are we saying that we're tying those two things together, the murder and the?
Tied them together.
Oh, Kanye did. Okay.
He said,
I was about to say, how are we tying those two?
Once I stopped sucking his dick, he killed his wife.
Hey, bro, that was terrible.
That's what he like.
Yeah, but you still, even when you quoting a nigga who say some shit like that, that shit still.
So is he saying
like a white person quoting the N-word?
Bro, yeah.
The whole thing is, even if he is saying that, and
look at Toe face,
because it's disgusting. And you got to think about like the implications that what he's saying is actually true. When you think, if you think about the implication that what he's saying is actually true, it's disgusting, bro.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
It's fed up.
Nah, that joke's disgusting.
All right, so
that nigga face.
You're not the victim. All right,
he's not the victim.
Oh man, Jesus. But I think that can roll into where we were.
Shaduer Sanders.
Shaduer Sanders. You want to go there?
Oh, I think that's what you're rolling into. I was about to say, how we can get there?
We was talking about the corn conversation. I think Steve earlier. There it is. The corn addiction. Saying that, you know what I mean?
Okay, we can knock out two.
He said he was hooked on that Kim K tape, sick in the head. He was, though. He did say something about that.
So, yeah, I guess we can knock out two questions before, and then I guess the Shaduer Sanders.
We'll save that one for the
end. Okay.
After the memes?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, because, like, honestly, when I was listening to y'all speak about the Ye thing with the corn, all of this that we just spoke on, the one thing that stuck out to me was, even though y'all had a great conversation about it, the one thing that stuck out to me was like the corn addiction thing, where it's like, I remember when I found my first magazine and going, it was crazy when you was going into the stores, and back in the day they had the Bad Boy joint, but you couldn't see Playboy. I'm sorry, but you couldn't see through the plastic on the magazine. So you kind of try to pull that joint to the side.
There might have been
I was gonna say Bad Boy too. They was
clearly, Bad Boys too.
Clearly, there might have been a Freudian slip right there. I mean, you accidentally said
no. I understand.
Right, okay,
yeah. I was just trying to catch up. Bad Boys too. I was trying to catch up.
Take that.
Yeah. But yeah, we went from like literally you having to try to see what you can see through the side of the magazine type of joints.
Okay.
And then
you talking about when they used to have a little magazine?
Yeah, the stand and you used to try to pull that joint to the side.
And that shit used to be in the bag, bro.
It used to be in the bag. And then I remember getting first off getting my hands on the first magazine, and then that VHS that I found in the tuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then you had on any Jason movie, you gonna see some titties. Yeah. So you pausing on them Jones every time.
Now shout out to the real OG, Pam Grier.
You said Pam Grier,
Foxy Brown.
Oh, that's what you had.
She had a couple of.
I used to, cause I would love when that shit would pop up on HBO about 11:30 at night.
Yeah, and she like if you was gonna do topless, no bottoms, you was gonna choose Pam Grier.
Shout out to she's a natural woman too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So it got me to thinking of like Kanye, even
no bubbles,
though
circles.
For Kanye to go to where he went to with it, that you know what I mean, I'm not saying, but I think that a lot of the times, a lot of those conversations don't be talked about, like the cousins. I ain't talking about you don't watch some corn with some same sex stuff and wouldn't try it, but like I think that a lot of the times there's a lot of people who like, or when they're younger, you're not necessarily cousins, but like the little girl that you know what I mean, the neighbor, or whatever it is, that person of the opposite sex, and you having this corn at your disposal. And not you gotta know what it feels like. You know what I mean? Your little mind is just going and you're trying all these different things. And it's like I can't speak. Well, even when I talked to old head about it, like that was the same shit back then. You know what I mean? Any chance you got when you was little, you was doing some little pushing the envelope with this shit.
Well, motherfuckers used to play house back in the day.
Right.
Like if you ever had like neighbors, or you was around like a bunch of women growing up, or kids like cousins, everybody would play house, and that would you'd go and that would be your time to pretend to be an adult. And I remember getting in with a couple of neighbors, and you don't know what adults do back there, but you try to
you doing shit.
I don't know if I ever played house.
Oh, you missed out.
That's crazy.
You didn't play how to go get it.
How to go get it?
Yeah, we
you was
like
outside,
that,
bro.
Like that's different.
But
we
playing
play house.
Playing house was the easiest way to like.
That was like the green light.
Yeah, like that was like the original game. Yeah, it was like original Riz.
Especially because she picked you to be her husband. So now you know that that's the green light.
Your cousins and shit.
Well, I mean, it'd be a lot of us playing. So we had girls in the neighborhood and stuff like that. So I wouldn't do it.
Why you mentioning cousins?
Well, I'm saying I didn't mention cousins. He was talking about family. Cousins. Yeah, I was talking about the.
Why you mentioning cousins?
Because I think it's very like him saying that what he said about him and his cousin. Like what I'm saying is that I don't believe that there's something that's a one-off. He's not like an anomaly. That's the only nigga, and it'll be like pretty much no nigga's gonna say that it happened. Yeah, Kanye. This is not, bro. I would say that's much more normal than we would like to believe.
Kissing cousins.
Yes, I believe that's more normal than we would like to believe.
Which what?
Oh, like, he was saying you missed out on some serious hunting. He was talking
about me.
Oh, that's facts. Not playing house here. I don't know how you got through that. How
you missed that one.
That was fire. That was fire.
That was one of the boys.
But I guess let me think. Well, I just wasn't doing it with my cousins, and
hey, I knew he was gonna try to flip that shit on me like that.
But I had mad cousins because one thing about like me and my people's like we kind of. Hey, where you? This would be the easiest way I can explain it. So I think that inside like our family group, we were outside my aunt Connie. We was the stable 2-family household. Mm-hmm. So with that, when you got a bunch of younger siblings, you know what I mean. Like whether you going off to the army, like shout out to my aunts. They went out. Like I had aunts that went off to the army, or like you just kind of like figuring your way through. Like you'll send your kids sometimes to like the stable spot. Mm-hmm. And so like we literally had cousins at the house all the time, or just lived with us for like periods of time, all the time. But yeah, through us living together the entire time, I never thought about attempting to suck anybody's or sucking somebody's piece, or hunting and playing house, or hunting and playing house with my cousins.
No, for
not
sure.
one time. But go ahead.
For sure. That's how I knew. When you give that man a little, he go goddamn nail you to the motherfucking cross on that joint. Like you just said the shit. Like, hey, you gotta let him go too. Nigga go run with that shit. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Man, like I didn't even say that about me.
Right. I didn't say I was messing with my. Yeah, I'm saying it's whatever, bro. Whatever. But anyways, what do you? The question was like, what do you think the effects?
Bro, before you get there, explicitly say to the audience that. Just so they know you wasn't messing with you.
Man, I ain't gotta say that shit. I ain't whatever.
But do it for the audience. When you deny it,
I wasn't messing with my cousin.
There we go.
That's the clip.
What I'm talking about. What I'm saying, I don't care about all that shit. What I'm saying,
I just want you to clear the smut off your name. No smut.
It ain't no smut on my name anyway.
Still,
bro. Either way,
clean.
Damn, what was I about to say? Oh yeah. So what do you think is like something like you just Kanye using himself as an example of what corn addiction looks like starting from a young age? What do you think? Like of course they say now like the teenage pregnancy rate is down low. They said that, as a matter of fact, I seen a stat that said that 40-year-olds are having more kids than teenagers. 40-year-old women are currently, for the first time in history, having more kids than teenagers, which is a hell of a stat.
I think that's good.
No, it is good. It's definitely good.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of risk involved, but it's definitely good to see that the teen pregnancies are going down the way they are.
Yeah.
Well, it's good for households.
Say it again.
More stability.
Yeah.
Like if people are waiting longer to have babies, it means their kids are going to be raised.
Should I tell my old niggas
more stable households,
or they doing it in another way? I'm not even gonna go there.
Oh yeah, damn.
They doing it.
He's talking about abortions.
No, I ain't talking about that.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to go there, so we keep moving.
Oh, okay. Well, but yeah, what do you think? And see, the thing is it's crazy to think about this because I wonder if kids look at corn as much as we did, or is it enough sexuality like in your face that you don't necessarily look at it and have to go that way because it was hidden from us.
But from what I've like through an earshot seen, I think don't the studies say that kids don't look at corn as much because maybe it's like it's a desensitization in like the ease of access is already.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It doesn't leak because I would have thought that they would be like the bigger consumers of it, but it's like
not as taboo.
They don't.
Yeah, and some
of these kids, their parents, like think about like a Kim K or like there's kids that have their parents have OnlyFans. Of course, you're gonna be kind of.
I'm not gonna say they're not doing it because they had to put those porn blockers on like in the different states for a reason. So obviously there was teens
porn
going on.
Blockers,
like
what you mean?
They got age requirements now on a lot of these sites where if you go,
but they've had that since forever.
No, you used to be able to just hit yes or no that you was 18.
Oh yeah,
now they got like face verification and stuff like that.
Oh, they ain't got that on my site.
Yeah, he talking about we in North Carolina. We're in Cornhub. That white lady pop up.
You gotta get on X video.
No, I'm on
X video still.
I'm on X and X.
It's
you old school.
I know it was new school. You know the crazy thing is that like I didn't know that y'all said that to me like 2 weeks ago, and that was a new gym for me. I ain't know nothing about that one back in the day.
Yeah, you gotta.
He's a round and brown and
you just
Chinese black adventures.
update your corn algorithm.
Chinese black adventures.
You remember that?
I remember that.
Somebody had a bus classic. Everybody bus.
I think
my Bang Bus.
Oh, was
it Bang Bus?
That was one of the ones. That's a newer one.
Was it Bang Bros?
Bang. They had Bang Bus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. But you see, like we know all about the them. You know what I mean? And it's like, what do you think the effects of that was on our generation? And then seeing it's like where it is now, we're saying that maybe they aren't looking at it as much because they're desensitized to how much is actually like free to access, and it's not even like a, you know what I mean? They don't feel as sure because like I say, everything was blotched out when we were growing up, so it was like so much more intriguing. What do you think the effects on us was?
I don't think it necessarily from our generation has been a bad thing. I think it's made us be more open and more transparent with
corn has.
Yeah, with our sexuality, because it's something that like we just sat here and bonded over. Like, oh, you watched that? I watched this video.
No, I didn't just bond with you over corn, man. No. That was not what happened.
It's not bonded, but
no, fuck, that ain't what happened.
We're more open about it. Like we're way more open about sex.
Twitter corn is fire.
Twitter X go crazy.
Yeah,
X there's a reason they changed it to X.
I ain't been on no Twitter.
But I think like the point, it has made us more open and more like willing to discuss the stuff than say our parents' generation. I don't think it's necessarily because
what are we more willing to discuss? What I'm trying to find is what's the beneficial part of what you're talking about.
I just said we're more open-minded, we're more transparent, we're more like
what's the open-minded? What is the positive gain from being more transparent about porn?
I think you get to just have more fun with sex. Like I think we have more fun with sex than our parents did.
I do agree with that.
Like I think,
but we're having way more fun with sex. Is that a positive?
Yes.
I do think that having like a better sexual experience, that is
better.
positive.
Like how is having better sex negative?
It's not. But let,
I don't know. Hold on.
Y'all niggas try to flip the shit. How you want to flip it?
Hold up, because that sounds crazy. How do we know we was having better sex than our parents? Like, how would you know that? Like, it's like, why would you?
Like, that is fact.
That's already.
How
crazy.
would you know that?
Because them niggas didn't have like. There's some tricks that these women is learning.
From where?
Kegels,
Bro,
yeah.
man.
Auntie and them ain't know about Kegels back in the day. They had that.
Man, we ain't doing nothing that day.
My bad. Go back and look at that 1985 girl. Give fellatio. Go look at the updated version. It's
come with the sloppy joint. They give the sloppy joint now.
They done got up to 3,000. It's called 3,000 now. They're back in 85. It was 1,000.
Said they ain't learned anything new. Have you ever had that cigarette yet, nephew?
I ain't interested. Keep the gorilla away from me. I ain't interested in that.
Man, yo, we ain't doing no. I don't think we doing no new tricks for real, bro. Yeah.
No, I think that to me, it's crazy to look. It's crazy we look at everything else and be like, well, that thing evolved through time with more information, more game film, more Like, I don't know a thing that we don't
evolution don't make it better though. It don't necessarily. It ain't necessarily better because it's evolved.
Evolved that I don't think is better. I look at
like you see 1985 cars versus the 2025.
I see a nigga dunk.
Well, I mean, also they work for front. Really,
a nigga used
they giving niggas those little plastic screen things that stick up off the thing. That's cheap as fuck. It's way cheaper than the ones that they had in the. You know what I'm talking about, Johnny. You work for cars. Cars are getting worse.
But they're better. But they're better driving experiences though.
Way better.
It's a way better driving experience. So you're saying this? You'd rather drive like an '85 Chevelle?
I mean, I drove a '72 Monte Carlo for some years. So like,
but you drive it.
What I'm gonna say is that
it's not better experience than like your Mustang. Your Mustang's a newer car, colder AC.
That bitch float though. My Mustang is a sports car, so it's kind of different.
You got like it's a better driving experience in cars now versus
niggas used to win the dunk contest off a windmill.
Fucking
now these niggas got to jump over mascot spinning in circles while windmilling between the legs behind the leg. Yeah, like I ain't rolling.
Sex is better.
Niggas thought that if you caught it, but let me stop because I don't like dragging on.
I like the ball handling of the game. I like the ball handling of the game now. But as far as the game, watching the game, I like the older game better than I like the new game. These niggas shoot 75 threes a game, bro.
Oh no, but
that shit looks. But really,
do we say that the evolution of talent didn't?
No, I think the evolution of talent. They are getting more talented. They are getting more talented.
Niggas used to have to put stickum on their hands to catch it with one hand. Now you see Odell Beckham.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think entertainment is being better. Is better.
You don't think
being
that
entertainment?
I don't. Then evolve. They got the game film. You got auntie showing them how to do this and then do this.
I don't know what you just said.
Hey, let's flip it. Our generation eat pussy better than Uncle them.
I don't know.
How do you know this?
They didn't do it. They didn't do it.
Bro,
oh yeah, it was
like a taboo.
It was a taboo. Like they didn't do it.
Cougars that tell you this. Bro, mess with some cougars and let them tell you this, and don't let these people lie to you and tell you they didn't do it. They've been doing all of that, bro.
You saying the cougars telling niggas that they that the new school is trash?
Bro, I'm saying,
don't let that cougar tell you.
No, I bet
she trying to make you work harder, Tone.
She said Ronnie used to lick it like this.
Bro, all I'm saying is I done had a lot of conversations with a lot of people. I ain't talking about nothing I done did. I'm talking about I done had a lot of conversations with a lot of people. Talk to people. People tell you one thing, but I'm saying like you don't know the whole story. You don't know what people.
Niggas. We know what cat was. Niggas been capping since cat.
Yeah, bro.
Niggas been capping the whole time.
Cat. Them niggas was eating cat just as much, bro. Like
I bet they was. I would put bread on it, bro.
Them niggas was probably just rubbing their nose.
I put bread on it, bro.
Talking about we eating the cat better, man. Well, that sound crazy, bro. They been doing that joke.
They was eating, bro. Y'all niggas gonna believe that. Come on, y'all know niggas used to lie talk about when you was a virgin, you was lying like a motherfucker, just like they was.
We done revolutionary cat like the 3-pointer now. We done brought it in. We done brought it into the game. Changed the game.
Like he the legendary cat eater.
No, I ain't gonna put that out there.
All I'm saying is I do think that I can only speak from my experience, which is like on like what females do. I think that it's been a fair, decent evolution of the fellatio. And I blame it on the corn. I'm not mad at it, bro.
Okay. So you think that the coin's been a net positive for our generation? Is that's what Johnny was saying.
Johnny said for our generation.
Johnny was using it
was a net positive.
Johnny was using it as like he was using the physical experience. I wasn't necessarily wanting to go on the ledge of like, hey, corn is great, but I would also say that there has been probably better. What's the word? Like if we're just going through the things that we think are positive. Like if we're looking at the chart and it's showing like a slope of
bro, Steve be heavy, bro. Steve said Granny might not have been doing that reverse cowgirl.
Oh no, she probably was. But
that's crazy to put Granny on that. Go ahead. Hey, I'm trying to get that out my head. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what was that?
That was fucked up, Steve. Ain't nobody want to think of that shit.
Y'all Grannies was getting they freak on too, bro.
I don't think they had the same moves though. But
yeah, they did not have no reverse cowgirl back.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know. Hey, your granddad your granddad let your granddad tell you.
Hey, what you think they was doing that freak neat? You don't think it reverse cowgirls out there?
I think the 90s was a good time.
90s, yeah. I'm talking like 70s, 80s.
That 90s is like where...
Bro, that 70s, 80s, y'all crazy, man.
I don't know why y'all think that.
Think about the music that was out in the 70s
they invented the reverse cowgirl in the 90s is what you're saying?
I probably put money on that. Like,
have y'all ever listened to Funkadelic? Like,
I listened to it.
Like
you know what else?
Collins,
you know what else?
On Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I listen to all that shit. You know what else?
Isley Brothers.
But they was doing it missionary, bro.
They was
laying that shit missionary.
Smokey Robinson.
I think that's great that you're naming all these people. You could just go to the vintage corn section and see how they was popping.
Smokey Robinson still on stage trying to hump, bro. That's how they was getting down.
Smokey had one move.
Yeah, right. Go look at the vintage corn. Them motherfuckers is just doing the regulars.
Smokey still using that same move from motherfucking 75.
See how they giving fellatio like a sour.
Man, LTO say every older man I've ever spoke to love to do that shit.
Do what shit?
So my kid.
Word.
But they just started in the 2000s. They do that shit back in the day.
Cooch in 1930.
They try to catch up. Them old dudes, they wasn't doing that shit back before 2000.
Bro,
maybe I don't know. I had to defer to Unc right there. Ask him if he was we don't got to go there. But yeah, Uncle let us know anyway.
He says y'all do know the song "Electric Sliders" about a female using the vibrator, don't you?
No, that's
what the song's about.
That bitch probably plugged into the wall.
Wiggy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got it.
That bitch had a cord on
it. Electric. Wiggy.
But it's different now. Them motherfuckers got the rolls.
You get electrocuted using that shit back in the day.
All I said is they've been doing their thing since the thing been getting done, bro. Ain't nothing.
That's fucking hilarious.
All I'm saying is that I think that it evolves. But okay, all right. This is what I was going to say. I guess I have to say net positive if it is bringing that, like if we don't see as much childhood pregnancies and shit like that. That's
in the generation after us though.
Our generation, like it's from the 90s up to now, it's been on the decline. So it's and the access to corn has also been on the incline since then. I'm trying to think of like what other metric that I could objectively judge it by. But like the things that I can think of objectively, it's not negative if we're saying like kids have less corn, they're a little bit more knowledgeable. I don't know. Like back in the day, before you had your first pizza, you just was like, you ain't really know what
that's all you had to like go on because it's like Usher said, put my hands in places I had never seen.
But I think that there's the part where it's oversaturated in decent, like it's hard to put it as like a positive or a negative. But I think that the result with the pregnancy is positive. I do think that kids being exposed too early, there's a negative, a bunch of negatives to it. Well, that's where I can put it. I can't like go either side.
I think there's a difference between like our generation, like with the dial-up internet age. It was such a hard barrier to get to the porn. Where nowadays, I think it is a little different. Your
pops had them tapes or magazine or
DVD.
I
know VHS.
Hey, what are you talking about? That's true. That's fact. That's true. But you had to wait till pops either went to sleep or they left you at home.
Then you try to rewind it back.
You had to sneak. It was so much that went into it. I remember when we got dial-up internet, trying to look at porn on the internet. And the parents pull up. You got to unplug the whole computer. You got to unplug the whole fucking computer.
So waiting for that thing to shut off and it don't do it.
That's crazy.
But like versus now, these kids could probably get on their iPhone and look it up and have it there. And I think that could be more detrimental. Like how
the ease of access,
how easy the access is versus like our generation. I think it's totally different.
To me, it's hard to put it as like a net negative, net positive. I just think that it presents different problems where like there's positives and negatives to it. It's hard for me to hang it's hard to hang it on one side of it because, like I said, I would hinge to the idea of like teen pregnancy is clearly on a decline.
And you think that's relative to the access to porn?
I think that it has a lot.
It has a lot to do with it because you getting those answers. The curiosity isn't there.
Like I think men are.
So you said when you watch porn, it made you less curious?
No, I think that niggas are busting them nuts and just like going about their business.
You ever heard of post nut clarity?
I don't know if the kids are like having sex.
It's a lot more post nut clarity with like access to porn because you're not as.
I can give you that one. Like, I can give you that one. I can agree to that.
All right. Well,
it's a lot more post nut clarity. I guess we wrap that one up.
So is the coochie still getting better?
Oh no, I think that
the coochie is getting better.
No different than basketball,
cars.
I think that like
cell phones. Have you seen the cell phones?
You learn new moves. I think the moves evolve. The access to information and new tricks. I remember when Auntie went viral on Facebook that one time. I don't know if y'all remember that. This was like
the pineapple lady.
Was it the pineapple?
It was a grapefruit.
Yeah. Like it was a couple different
times.
That
grapefruit lady was going crazy.
Like Auntie went viral, and she taught a whole generation.
How long? She might have had that grapefruit out in the 90s too.
No, but what I'm saying is that there was isolated superstars.
Now they
we see
able to spread.
Yeah. Now the information's getting out there. Y'all remember Nick Van Exel? It wasn't a lot of niggas that was hitting the Nick Van Exel in 1993. But now everybody got a Nick Van Exel.
Now you got it. Now I see what you went.
That's all I'm saying.
Like Steph Curry.
Like we knew Superhead existed. It was special.
It just wasn't a superhead on every block.
Yeah.
Now
it was one there.
It was one there.
It was one there.
No, it was
not on every block.
She wanted to.
It was one on every block.
I'm trying to tell you.
Wait. It was some willing participants.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was some willing participants. That don't mean she was superhead just because.
But what I'm saying,
that'll make a superhead.
What I'm saying is that there's some
Ho's always been there. I agree. Ho's been on every block.
Yeah, but they'll make it. You only get one bow.
I'm gonna tell y'all what though. Uncle Wild Boy, man. Steve.
What up, fat boy?
Uncle Wild Boy. Steve has said you losing to that Rose every time. Say, Steve, you too young to know about Nintendo, but they had a game called Track and Field. Everybody else used the battery to run between the buttons. I use my fingers alone. I still got that skill.
The road's like 5,000 RPMs, bro. It's like physically impossible.
He used his fingers alone, bro.
Unc said he used to DJ. Stop playing with Unc.
Oh man, that's funny. So y'all boys ready to catch this L?
Hold on.
Got him. Oh yeah.
I'll take my place a second.
I'm Q gonna go first. I'm gonna go second. And I'm gonna let them two. Cause they was a little spicy.
Ain't nothing spicy about me, bro.
Oh, so who going first and who going second? Oh, they gonna get to it?
Yeah, okay. Whoever win go first.
And we got to get a tone cam.
We need a tone cam.
Tell him, Tone.
Damn,
this man laughed.
That man out of here.
Got him.
I ain't had but two anyway. We were in one of mine earlier.
Okay.
Oh, now he ain't got no memes because he laughs.
Exactly.
Damn, nigga sore loser, man. Don't be like that, bro.
Fuck y'all. Nah, go ahead.
All right, we I guess this actually makes sense when we speak about age gaps and people having babies earlier, younger, XYZ. Go to homeboy with the shades top left.
There's the biggest difference between us and white people. We have kids early and they don't. A white man will be. You ever seen one of my favorite movies? Is a movie called This Is 40. You ever seen that movie?
I've seen it.
Incredible. He's 40. His kids is like 9 and 6. You know, he's trying to go into another career and everything. If we did a This Is 40, that nigga would be a grandfather. His kid would be 22 and his kid, because we don't tell him, you got to figure out what you want to do with your life first before you start fucking and figuring out why do you need money if you don't even know what your purpose is? All you're going to do is blow it on some shit that's not going to help you. We got to start changing the conversation in our community, because that's why we so broke. And this coming from a nigga that got millions of dollars in the bank right now. And I'm still looking around like, I got millions in the bank and I'm panicking every day about tomorrow. And I see broke trying to get pussy. What are we doing? Black people are the only people. This is the biggest.
My bad. Keep going. What is y'all takeaways?
So I think you make a lot of sense though, as far as like,
is there something? Hold on, do we know that already? Is that a fact?
I don't know it. I only can take it by face value. I'm
gonna see what the average age of white.
Okay, I got you. But yeah, Johnny, what is your take on it?
No, I think like when we're talking about family planning, as far as like, I think waiting a little bit does make a lot more sense. I don't think you should.
Yeah, I am for that.
I don't think like, I mean, and I think like, because you see it a lot of times with like, girls will get like that baby fever and they'll see their friend have babies, and it's almost like a snowball effect. Like once you get like one person that has a baby, there's another person that has a baby, and it's almost like, I guess it's almost a FOMO type of thing where they don't want to miss out on like the wave of having baby. And I think just exercising a little more discipline and intent would help our community a lot more.
Yeah, I'm for everybody having babies after 30.
So what this says,
and I had a baby at 21.
It says the average of a white woman at their first birth in the U.S. is in 2022 was 28.2.
Okay.
And then for ours was like 26.
Well, ain't that big of a deal.
Yeah. So it sounds like I want to make sure
stop spreading propaganda, nigga, with the
glasses. Yeah, 26. It says the average age for a black woman in the U.S. to have their first child is around 26 years old, with a range of 25 to 28.
All right. Well, we solved that problem.
Yeah, it sounded good though.
It did sound good.
Sound like that nigga might have been cooking with some grease.
He had some cool shades. That was it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's fucked up.
That's the problem. Could you go to China and Russia debating?
We're not your little niggas. Like, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas. So we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't. And for me, I never respected in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. Would tell me, Mace, chill. No, chill for what? Who is this? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like, I want to respect you, but I can't. And I'm going to tell you, we're not your little niggas.
China and Russia.
We got to
oh yeah, read out super chat. Shut up, fat boy. That's fat boy.
He said he don't know if it's shadow. I don't know if it's shadow banned or what, but I only get unpacked notifications.
A word?
Damn.
I hope we ain't shadow banned.
You know who we were talking about last week? They might have got us.
They might have got us, bro.
Oh,
them hurricanes,
the university,
the vampires. My bad. That's
man.
And we ain't gonna throw no spoilers.
The hats don't fit.
The hats don't fit. That's a good one.
All right, we'll go to a quick NBA one, and then we can get into like maybe it ends up being a deeper conversation. Go to Kawhi and KD. This might not have legs. I don't know. I just want to throw some sports in here.
KD didn't average 30 in year 3 before he could legally drink alcohol. For y'all to say Kawhi is better after every good game.
Hold on. So read it one more time.
Click the and make sure you click the next.
Oh, so Kawhi averaged 30 before he
No, KD did. KD didn't average 30 points 3 years before he could drink.
For y'all to say, okay. Yeah. So people are saying Kawhi is better than KD. Who the fuck is saying that?
Well, hold on. You don't think on both sides of the ball?
Nigga.
I ain't gonna lie, Kawhi led 2 teams to win a chip as the main guy. KD never did that.
That's the rebuttal.
Well, first of all, the first ship he won, the first ship he won, he was loaded with Hall of Famers. He had Tim Duncan and Tony Parker.
You talking about young Tim Duncan?
No, he was old Tim Duncan.
Bro, it was a Hall of Fame team, bro. Like, don't nobody care.
I mean,
how was
a Hall of Fame team? And then, okay,
Manu Ginobili was old.
Okay, cool.
Tony Parker was old too.
The second one he won, he wouldn't have won if KD and Clay didn't get hurt.
Oh, you talking about woulda, coulda, shoulda?
Yeah, because hold on.
Them boy, man, they was kicking their ass before Clay got hurt. Y'all know this.
Okay, but hold on. But let's get away from that argument.
Y'all gonna give him that.
But hold on, let's get away from that. Let's get away from the championship argument.
I don't like Kawhi, so y'all can talk.
Why you don't like him?
Because he came to LA talking about he was the king and shit. He's a dickhead.
You just an emotional guy.
I don't like Kawhi.
All right, bro.
What I'm saying is that, like,
talk about the king.
If you look at both sides of the ball, in my opinion, I would say that Kawhi is better. Even though, like, KD is a bucket. KD is a bucket, but I think Kawhi's a bucket too, and he's gonna play defense
They
like
call
a
him
motherfucker.
Robot Jordan.
And yeah, no expression. This nigga. Hey, I was saying the joke.
Is he gonna play defense or is he gonna load manage?
Well, I mean, you talking? Is he gonna play in the game at all?
Is he gonna load manage?
I mean, you got when he's on the court.
The best ability is availability.
So how about this? We're not putting where they land at, but who's in front of who inside your list? KD.
KD's way above Kawhi. Like he's a better offense. Like he does what he he specializes at what he does at so much of a higher level than Kawhi specializes in anything.
Nah, but you at the end of the day you can have a good trick, but if I'm gonna go Kawhi just because I think I
with you too.
I understand the importance of both sides of the ball.
This is very important. This is
we shout out to
hey, why
everybody.
basketball got so many pausable fucking. Like, why is it so pausable? Basketball, you can talk about
any sport though. I think like any sport, like baseball. Talking about baseball bats.
Think about that.
And balls.
It'd be like D'ing them up.
I'm a tight shit. Think about like how do you hike the ball in football?
Yeah, no, I get that, but it's a lot of gay references.
Football is way gayer.
And then when you backing them down, you know what Charles Barkley say? What you say? You got to put. Yeah,
because they was invented in Greece. You know what Greece was about.
No, probably so, bro. Basketball
wasn't invented in Greece.
No, I'm saying I'm just playing, bro.
It's got a lot of. It's got a lot of. Basketball's got a lot of gay stuff in it, bro.
Football is gay though. But
I believe it. I mean, I don't. I just know. I follow basketball.
Then you gotta say MMA's got to be gay as fuck. Then.
Oh yeah, them niggas be all over.
No, regular wrestling is the gayest. You see what they do? Like that's the gayest shit ever.
Hey, bro, there's no way bro Keisha's gonna wipe his ass in my face, bro.
You know that a nigga finishing move back in the day. I must not have been paying attention because I remember the dude, and then I remember like I couldn't remember him doing it, but he was. Oh damn,
he was jumping in the nigga face with his crotch.
Well, not even that. It was that dude who finished. Was that Rey
Mysterio?
Like humping a nigga. And I was like,
oh
shit! Like every time the guy was laid on their back. And he got on his back and was humping him.
No, that was
but you know the most fucked up part about that?
Black
you know the most fucked up part of wrestling's fake. They playing that shit.
Yeah, so it'd be like
you knew he was gonna get
hold on, what a DDT was. I put that nigga head on my nuts.
Yeah. Hold on. Who was the guy who did?
I used to hate wrestling with some of the white boys back in the playground. They used to go a little too far.
Their head on your nuts.
They used to go a little too far. They used to
Johnny, why you let them put you in that move?
X-Pac. There you go.
X-Pac had the humping move.
Bro, X-Pac, you remember that?
The pile
had a nigga in the corner, and he'd be sitting in the corner, and then he'd just come and jump and put his legs around him and just like ride the nigga face.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
like why?
There's no way I'm participating.
Especially that's in the script.
On either side. I'm cool on both sides.
You knew going to beforehand he was going to do that.
Oh, my bad. Listen. Hey, understand, y'all. We are also.
We got 27 more seconds left.
Please avid basketball fans.
Please forgive us.
They also please forgive us. Being podcasters. And right now, there is 18 seconds left. I'm going to get.
What's the score?
Get you some
114, 113.
Yeah,
Lakers got to get this stop.
Get
this stop. Yeah. Our ball.
Who did who?
Yeah, right. Who did who up?
LeBron put that D on that boy.
Literally, he just did. Pause. But
it's about to get interesting. It's 9 minutes.
Hey, we got 9 seconds left.
But all right, we can keep going.
Go to the.
Oh my bad.
Go on memes. I think
it's on. It's well. You didn't answer. Who do you put in front of who?
I put Kawhi in front of KD.
Kawhi in front of KD.
LeBron literally just
because then you think about KD's rings. Those are some suspecty rings.
So is Kawhi's.
How is Kawhi's suspect?
Well, it's hard to say either one's rings are more suspect.
Why you say that?
All right, so
because Kawhi was never.
Kawhi was a part like.
He wasn't like the guy when he was.
He wasn't the best player on the first one, and then he had injuries on the second one.
Yeah, he was like was he a rookie or a second year player?
Second year. It was like second year maybe.
He was
to where like he was
And he was coming off the bench, wasn't he?
Nah, he was.
Oh, he started. Okay.
And that team had just got there the year before with him being.
They had got there.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, what about the second one?
Them boys got hurt.
The reality would be that Golden State was going to sweep them if KD didn't pop an Achilles
and Clay blew his ACL.
KD was already, man. I don't know.
No, they lost Clay. I understand, but KD. But that's a suspect.
No, like Toronto,
it's worse than the bubble ring. Honestly, it's worse than the bubble ring.
I agree, but KD was already.
That might be the weakest wing.
But hold on, if KD wasn't with Golden State, which I'm calling his shit suspect anyway. If he wasn't with Golden State, he wouldn't have. That would been. That ain't. Well,
Golden State would have still smacked him.
Lost.
But they were about to smack him with just Clay.
And then he tore his, and then that's Steph tried too. I think didn't they win another game?
Yeah, it was.
Hey, it's funny when
they still won that game.
Be trying to have basketball conversations.
You said what?
It's funny, like when I'm the nigga that'll have a basketball conversation, knowing good and hell well I don't even watch basketball. I like peek in and out from time to time.
Unc said something about wrestling. Listen. I do come from a family of wrestling watchers.
No, we used to watch that shit.
To this day, I think Unc and Ma Dukes.
She said some of it's fake, some of it's not.
She's a believer. All I'm saying is X-Pac had his nuts on all them niggas' face.
Y'all remember Rakishi?
Imagine Rakishi. I was just about to say that. Bro, I'm not participating, bro.
We were just talking about Rakishi at work the other day.
There's no way bro's wiping his ass on my face.
Like I said, it was a dude. I wish I'd have just saved it. But I sometimes you have to have a pause button in your sage because you don't want that to infiltrate your algorithm.
That'd be crazy.
But I remember seeing that and I was like, this is wild. But I kind of remember this nigga doing this.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Like they had a lot of suspect shit. Where all right. I guess my bad. I didn't answer it. I will put KD over Kawhi, but moving on. The last one, top right, and we can finish there.
A lot of Black men, if not most Black men that I personally know, deal with destination addiction. And I know Black men from all different levels of their journey, all different ages, and a lot say the same thing. When they reach that destination that they think will make them happy, it ends up being a sad moment because they realize how much time went by and they didn't allow themselves to be happy throughout the duration of the journey of getting to the destination. And if you really think about it, like each destination or moment of success might last a day, 2 days, a week. Like it's like getting a new car, but those 5 years or 10 years it took to get to that destination are a lot more valuable than that 1 week or that 1 day. And it's often realized when Black men are on top of one mountain, they create another mountain or create another level. So it's this constant chasing for this constant carrot that seems to never be enough. And so a lot of my affirmations were based in enjoying the journey, accepting who you are today, accepting what you have today, and allowing yourself to enjoy your life because Black man, you are human. You deserve to enjoy this experience, even if cards are down or if relationships are down or if money is down. If you can be a man who is able to keep a positive mindset despite your circumstances, nothing is going to be able to shake you. And that's why receiving content, I know sometimes I make it a little bit repetitive, but repetition
you ain't gotta
is
play
really,
the whole
really
thing.
important because
do you want to hit the super chat first?
Yeah, I wanted to do that.
Okay,
it made sense.
Okay.
Toronto wouldn't have got a ring had that not been the year Bron went to the West.
I agree with that. Toronto definitely wouldn't have been there. Toronto was LeBron's like little brother or something like that. Them like they talk a little bit and Indiana. And then DeMar DeRozan, get your ass up every time.
That's why.
Y'all got the best.
That's why DeMar
he did it every time.
That's why DeMar left in the first place.
Had to. That was what made it kind of sad.
He was tired
because as soon as DeMar left, they went. Before then, them niggas would be top 1, top 2. Bron get a hold of them.
Shut your bitch. Belt to ass, as the young boys say.
But speaking of Bron, shout out to what they call him. That's the real baby Jordan, no hair reminder.
Anyway,
they just lost.
Yeah, had to hand him another one.
Anyways,
another one.
And it's crazy because they seem like seem like they gave him the one that we got. The one that we got seemed like the refs gave it to us.
I like the way you said that too. I like that one. What you gonna say now?
It was crazy. My boy called that shit.
Would you say 7-Eleven? All dogs go to heaven. Is that what you want to say now? What's next? All right, we can go to the meme actually now. Black men.
Lakers in 7 though. Lakers like
destination addiction. What's your thoughts?
No, I've experienced that though. I know the feeling. Like when you get something and it's like you're like, what's next? Or you're immediately looking for like the next thrill, the next thing to chase. And it's I guess it goes something to where we don't enjoy the journey enough. We don't enjoy like the process enough. And I guess the destination is almost like I look at it, it's almost like trying to fill a void that instead of actually doing the work to actually be happy, you think, oh, once I get that, then I'll be happy. And so you push off doing the shit that actually, could make you happy or doing the work. And then you're like, nah, just once I get there, I'm gonna be happy. And then you get there and it's not happy, and you're like, damn. And then so you start looking for the next thing instead of actually like, trying to take your time and enjoy life and enjoy the process. You just kind of constantly filling, that void with another thrill, a chase, another, you're chasing the next thing, and you're not ever really like enjoying your time or yourself. And so, yeah, I've been there before. I understand it. And it's something I've, over the last few years have tried to like be more intentional about enjoying processes and the journey more, but it's a real thing for sure.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I don't necessarily think it's like a black man thing specifically. I think it's more of like a man thing. If you're a driven male, like we probably all have that same.
I think it's a human thing too. I think women.
Yeah, women probably. Well, I mean, you see a lot more women kind of like having more fun. At least that what I see is like women don't mind taking that bread and having fun with that bread. When they at that job, they got them going, getting they does, and they stay on trips, and men. From me, my perspective, and the men that I'm around, we generally don't celebrate as much. Like even like birthdays, and shit ain't never got to be that big. We don't really allow ourselves to be celebrated that highly. And I don't know what that is. I think maybe it's pride. I don't know exactly why that is. But back to the meme, I'm 100% sure I go in and out that shit every time I make a goal. It's about getting to check this box. You know what I mean? And I can't sit there and celebrate too long because I got another box to check. I would say that like the closest I've gotten to it is like having children. And then I'll say this too, like I've never thought that the journey to get to the box being checked was supposed to be fun. You know what I mean? Like that ain't never been like a way that I've ever experienced it. Like going to the military, that shit, you know what I mean? The work that you put in, maybe when you're a little younger, but like anything in adulthood, a goal that I've ever like created for myself, there's not a lot of time for, you know what I mean, fun. But what I will say is that like the pod is where I get a release, and this is fun to me. So while I'm chasing the journeys now, like this is one of those like defaults that I have in my back pocket now. And it's dope to have it as a default, you know what I mean? Instead of like having a plan of time where the niggas got to get together and then, you know what I mean? It's dope to have this to rely on as a default. But, and then my children too, like the kids, I think since having kids, the journey has gotten more fun. You know what I mean? It's gotten better just because of the kids, even though they add to the journey. Now the journey's a little bit different, but that love that you get from pre-adolescent kids, like I think that like that shit it's a different type of thing that I've ever experienced, and it makes the journey a lot easier. It gives you more purpose along the journey, and just, you know what I mean? I don't know, it just fuels me a lot more now. But yeah, I think that like not only to wrap it up again, like yeah, I think it's a man thing for sure. I can't speak for women. I'm not a woman. I can only experience, you know what I mean? But I know it's not just a black man thing. Oh, but go ahead.
I guess I would say that I guess something that I'm way more intentional about, and I guess there's a couple different processes that I'm a part of that makes me like continually realize that, and because of that, it becomes a little bit more intentional and conscious. So like if I was to give like an example like even right now, like with my son right now, he plays ball, and going through the process of even trying to be a recruitable athlete like there's a way that you could look at that as like this is like I'm doing this thing to get to this end goal, or you could take this moment to enjoy everything that comes with it each step, because there's a lot of joy and things that you could have to it. Where I was actually having this conversation with him. It was earlier today, where we was watching the game, and he was like, "This day last year of AAU ball, pretty much you stopped AAU ball your junior year." And I was like, "Damn, you know that means you only got 2 years left," and that's like its own thing. And what I told him was that like this is the time to sit and enjoy and love every single moment of this thing, because like when you start in like 4th, 5th grade. That's the end is way further. Yeah, like the end of this specific thing is its own thing, where it's important to just sit, and no matter what the future holds of it, like this journey in itself is its own amazing, cool, fun, whatever thing. And with me, a lot of that ends up like translating to, like, I know for me this summer, my goal is that I've kind of like set up a couple different little things where it's easy to get stuck just going through the process, and then you be like, damn, this year passed. And you know what? Every beautiful day outside, I set my ass in the house. I just was doing whatever regular shit. It's easy to just put on some quick little Netflix or a game or whatever, and then it turned nighttime. Then you take your ass to sleep and you hit reset on the button, right? Where like I've set like very specific goals as us as a family, where any free weekend we going out to at least a park. We're going out to at least an event or whatever. Every Friday, no matter what, because sometimes I can't control the weekend just because of how it's scheduled. But like we get out the house on Fridays. And like, there's always an event or a park, and if there's not, you have your defaults where we just set out a blanket and we just be inside, like whatever moment it is at that time. But it's intentional because of sometimes we get so stuck on the destination. Like I got to get to this next number spot. And I've had that. I remember when I went from my previous job to the job that I had, and it was a decent bump inside pay, like maybe like 30K or some shit like that. And I thought that was going to be like boom, it was gonna feel good and all that. Then you be like, all right, well, shit, what's next? I guess I'm here now. How do I get to the next level? And once you realize that, oh shit, likely, like I can only speak about, and I've had like decent little pay jumps as well since I've been there, but it'll be likely that as these things continue happening, and because I don't like put so much value in just money like that I can get lost in this journey that doesn't necessarily matter as much, and then fuck around and miss out on the enjoyment of the life part. And I know that for me, growing up and not having the biggest means, it led me to having like, I'm gonna just put a name on it, but like broke anxiety. So I'm always in fear of being broke. So like I will like function my entire life around like, I'm gonna save money, I'm gonna do all these things just so that I don't be out my ass, right? And in doing that, you also miss out on this amazing word called experiences. And yeah, that's my quick little spiel.
Yeah, because you can't take it with you. Like a lot of the money is just a tool.
Yeah, and that's not to say be frivolous though. Yeah, like to me, most of the shit that I set up
with me, no way.
Yeah, most of the shit that I set up is like it's free shit. Like we gonna go out to, like yesterday we went to the Jazz in the Park shit. Shout out to Harvey, shout out Arsena. Got to see all of them perform. It's free. Shout out everybody that pulled up too. Like we just sit out there, fellowship with all your people, have a good ass time, and now that's a memory. Take a couple pictures now that pop up on your memory thing. You be like, damn,
that was a good day.
I remember that day. That was all right.
Now that's the beautiful thing about like the cloud nowadays.
Yeah,
like, you can like pictures like it'll remind you of like
that was fun
memories and shit. And that actually, is something that helps me with the journey too. Because a lot of time the cloud, it won't even wait till 5 years from now.
They'll just show you like a random montage of different moments
of last month.
Yeah,
and you be like, oh shit,
that shit was
damn, I did okay. I did that. So a lot of times, like that's one way like technology kind of helps remind you, and like you got to set it up. But that's one like pictures. That's something that can even help you with enjoying the journey more because like not like the pictures, but you can just look at the pictures you took last month and be like, damn, well,
like quick look. Like my thing, I'll do. Like I'm not like a concert goer that will just sit and like record a bunch, but I'll record like an intro or something like that, and then stop right there because now it's just there. And I don't know whatever it is about the algorithm or like your phone because both of them happen. It'll just randomly pull it up and you be like, damn.
I like record like either the end of something, the beginning of something, and then just
Yeah, I got to get better with that, especially with kids, bro. Like I know that I'm gonna regret not having. Especially, I realized that when I lost my phone, I don't do all that cloud backup and all that shit. So like, I just literally lost like the fucking. You know what I mean? My kids being born.
Oh, yeah,
like I lost some like real serious pictures, and then I don't take pictures a lot either. So like
you don't post it on socials,
and I don't post
like
on social. And I don't post on social. So like, and my wife, she don't really like be putting us on social. Like,
you can have private albums on social, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I mean, she really ain't into like social media and like because like you can Google yourself and like your fucking address and phone number and all that.
But she just really ain't got nothing to do with social.
What I'm saying is that like she really doesn't. She's like really weary of like that whole thing. She don't post pictures and shit on social media and like you know what I mean. So like and we have a understanding that I'll limit the amount of pictures that I post of our children as well, like on social and stuff like that. So like that's just one of those things that we kind of have an agreement on. But I need to get better at taking the pictures to start with because I never think like pull out your phone. That's never like a thought of mine. Like I don't ever go anywhere and think, if I'm seeing something, I don't never think, let me record this. No. Like it just doesn't pop in my mind. I've been told a couple of times by parents that they like, bro, you're gonna wish you had those pictures.
No, yeah, and you can back them up on a hard drive or a disc. Just back them up.
Yeah, I just gotta get my mind train my mind into thinking about it because I just generally don't think about it. Genuinely,
you're gonna blink and they're gonna be 16
already
and 14.
5, bro. That was like, you know what I mean? That's crazy already. Nana's already 5.
She about to be 15 really quick.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I ain't in no hurry. But go ahead. Who you said was next?
Oh, I'm done. It's Johnny.
Yeah, I got a couple in there.
Oh, hold on. Unc did a super chat too, right?
Oh yeah. I said read the next one.
Read the one after.
He said, I love myself enough to know that without loving myself, I can't love anyone else. But I love my son more than the sun, and we need the son to live. So with that being said, I continue on shining for him. Shining.
That's what's up.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to Johnny's.
Let's see where I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna keep it a little. Go top right corner. I'm gonna start off. Then I got two good ones too.
Please tell me what's going on. Can you talk?
Well, I guess that makes me who, because I care. Nice to meet you, my brother. I hope your life go great. You know what I mean? I hope them demons that you fighting piss gasoline when they see you, and that fire for life that you just found ignites them and they burn to a crisp. But if that ain't gonna cut it, then I hope you can just throw down a tactical insertion and I'll respawn in to help you jump. You know what I mean? We all gonna lose this fight eventually. It's like a matter of time. Don't nobody really get out of here alive. So I think the best thing you can do is put hands back on them while you're still here, because you better not leave a second before your expiration date. You know what I'm saying? As men, we always say that don't nobody care, but it's a lot of men, and we all got brothers. Why we don't feel comfortable confiding in our brothers, maybe us brothers need to do a better job. So take care of each other, bro.
I don't know if you saw but the read it say struggling mentally, but I'm a man, so who cares? Yeah. Nah, people care. Like you gotta like even as men, sometimes you get like in that like thing that don't nobody care, and it's easy to do it too because you don't want to, the vulnerability. You don't want to seem weak, but like motherfuckers care. Like even like every dude in here, all the dudes I know, it's always a community, even if you don't see it, or even if you don't want to see it, because sometimes it's not even that you can't see it, you just don't even want to see it or choose not to lean in there. But it's a lot of people that care, and I think, like he said, we got to do a better job of just letting it be known that we're here for each other. And I think that's an important one. But I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna go. You can scroll down, Tone. Scroll down or right up under Trump. Click that one right there. Craziest moments from Walmart. This is funny. This is a harmless prank. I love it.
You said right up under Trump.
Under Trump, right there. Go up. What's on the right? Right there. Craziest moments at Walmart.
I get got sometimes too, man. Don't worry about it. Have a good day. Oh, you too. Excuse you.
What did he put him?
I get it sometimes too, man. You're good. You don't. It's okay.
Yes, sir.
You hear that noise?
What's that noise?
Sound like somebody's squirting.
Is it you?
Is it you?
You ain't got gas?
No, everybody been looking at me real funny. See?
I didn't move.
It's all right. Ain't nothing to be embarrassed about. My goodness, how did they do that?
We're joking with him, man. Where's the camera? Y'all have a good day. All right, you too, man. He liked it, dude. That was awesome.
See, I like Walmart pranks like that. That shit's harmless. You ain't disrespecting nobody. And everybody got a good chuckle out of it.
It depends on what kind of day a motherfucker having. That shit could be.
Yeah, it's not bad. Who got his phone?
Go to the Walmart on North trying to put one of the motherfuckers in the nigga pockets. See how good that turned out for you. I see a nigga about to square up with a nigga that was working at I don't go at Walmart, bro, but the last time I went reminded me of why the fuck I would be in there, bro. Niggas about to square up with the nigga working there. I don't even know what bro said. You don't fucking know me, nigga. Like, damn, bro, like shit.
Nigga had a bad day.
Yeah, a bad day.
That would, if you had a bad day, that might send you over the edge. But
want to play games.
And then now I'm gonna end with this one. Go up to the top. It could be the top left corner. And I think this is a good conversation.
Like, do we get to pick the 100?
If
it's just 100 regular niggas, absolutely not. Y'all good as dead. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing. If it's just 100 regular niggas, you got to be strategic because gorillas, a good silverback. The more silver the back, the stronger. If we grab an arm each, and we gonna have to tickle him. We gotta tickle him. If he start to doing this shit, that's we gotta stop that part. We gotta have communication. Elbow coming, fist coming, because his hand is the size of my torso. So if he Ric Flair somebody, your lungs gonna go through your ass. Because if you tickle it on one of them toes, this is a toe. That's a toe. You tickle one of his toes, he ain't. Try it. Tickle somebody and try to fight him. You can't fight and be tickled at the same time. That's you good as done. Them gorillas might be able to take 100. But he got a little bit of a point. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna be there.
That's my whole shit. I've been thinking that the whole time.
I ain't gonna be there for that one. Attempt. I beat that nigga's ass. Like, do we get to pick the 100?
You can stop it.
If it's just 100,
I don't think 100 niggas could beat one gorilla.
I don't think I'm saying I'm not going.
I think I think the gorilla gonna mow down like a good 50 of them niggas off gate.
I mean,
100. I think, bro.
Well, because everybody's gonna spread out like this, and then it's isolated. If like
there needs to be
hypothetically, everybody was like, we're all jump in, and then
don't weed me. I'm not going.
But somebody gonna take some sacrifices. You gonna need 100 selfless motherfuckers.
No, for sure.
Yeah, because at least 20 gonna die regardless.
Yeah, like, so you gotta
be like really
straight off. Yeah, whoever the straight off motherfuckers who initiate contact.
But yeah. But no, if I could, if I could choose, I start choosing like them. What's the them little MMA niggas that be wrestling bears and shit.
Khabib.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some of them Khabibs and Copper stands.
I'm gonna get 100 of Jokic's brothers.
Yeah,
100 Jokic brothers could take a fucking gorilla. Them niggas like they about gorilla size.
You talking about like the cold weather whites?
Yeah. Like with them big 7-foot ones though.
Them cold weather whites, big ones.
I'm taking 100 of them, and we gonna get that gorilla. They gonna get.
I'm not going.
I'm gonna be in the back. I'm gonna be coaching.
I'll watch.
I'm gonna be calling plays. I'm gonna be calling timeouts and shit. Hey, y'all gotta communicate.
Just post it on your story, Johnny. I catch it on the story.
What's the big
dude? Gorilla ain't timing out. I tell you that much.
I think we could take him though. 100 LeBrons could take a gorilla.
Try.
Nah, LeBron, bro.
100 LeBrons could take a gorilla, bro.
They gonna fall down and start.
Bron is 6'8", 250. 100 Brons could take a gorilla. He ain't beating 100 Brons.
I think Tone said they'll start flopping.
Right, be looking for a foul.
Right.
Be looking for somebody to cry to about this shit.
Man, you see what he did?
Y'all seen him this week? That nigga got hit. He said,
"Oh yeah, he was peeking." That's it.
Wild bull, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Somebody said something about that earlier in the chat too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Unc said that earlier.
Yeah, Ron gonna peak every time.
But yeah, I'm done. That's my 3.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we already know who last. So
who last? And
who's last?
Who last and why he last?
Hey man, because he ain't got no skills.
That man took two. That man took
your
2
mom
L's.
has plenty skills.
No Cool J.
LL Cool Rail.
Tone's mom's has
I'm gonna start
plenty
with
of
this one
skills.
because I had to watch it. So.
She has enough for the both of us.
Someone told me to do Doritos.
Y'all got to see it.
Well, how many of you guys are eating this right now? See, this is why they always come out with these new flavors to entice you guys to buy this, y'all. Like, this is what you're getting yourselves into. Prepare yourselves. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Bro.
You don't give a fuck.
Nope.
Even
Nope.
This.
Hey, time out. Time out. Cool. Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
Bugs have like metals in them, y'all. Those transparent, translucent bugs, they got metals in them. The dark things. That's the thing. You can't even see them on the chip unless it's magnified. Are you kidding me?
My stomach
That's
acid
invasive.
That out.
That is extremely invasive. And for them to give us this, y'all, oh my goodness. Did y'all know as in 2012, he
fucking it up for you, bro?
But no, but my thing is,
I'm gonna eat that shit anyway.
Yeah, because first of
like,
all,
do you know how much shit is on everything?
Exactly. If you put any of the food you just ate today under a microscope, there's gonna be bugs on it. Anything you eat, if you take a stomach out your,
them niggas don't scare me no more.
If you take shit out your stomach, it's shit in your stomach too. That
them cultures and shit.
Yeah, that kill that shit. So that's just organisms, bro. Give me a bag of Doritos right now. I'm eating. I'm smashing. Especially them golden sriracha ones. Shout out.
Now, we ain't rolling with that. Give me the purple bag.
That purple bag. That sweet chili. Them motherfuckers special.
That's good too.
Them motherfuckers special.
But the gold one got a little more kick to it. I like that kick.
Nah, it ain't no more kick.
You tried to make all of us eat one and decide. I decided purple.
Nah, the purple bag is better than those.
That's cool, but it's still purple and gold. But I go with the gold.
It tastes like a good sample, but
it's still purple and gold.
That motherfucker, that chip sandwich,
for purple and gold.
That chip sandwich with the purple Jones.
We ain't the Israelites, but we still going purple and gold. Both those are two best.
Oh, you still Israelite? Okay.
The blue bag fire too though. I always go over.
Talking about the Cool Ranch. Man, come on, bro.
Cool Ranch, all right.
It's all right, bro. Your breath gonna be talking something
That's
different.
a lunchbox classic, bro. Everybody.
If I was choosing that or the nacho,
junk already terrible. Then the bugs on there too. Like y'all have.
I'm rolling,
bro.
rolling.
You got Bojangles right there. You don't think there's Tone? You don't think there's bugs on the Bojangles?
It ain't the same ingredients in here.
There's bugs on the Bojangles too.
I'm just glad that they didn't use
And think about it, like we forget that Bojangles is Bojangles. What the fuck is like? It's some racist ass shit.
Bojangles.
Like, anytime you literally like anybody that's not from the South and y'all eat Bojangles, I'm like immediately like red pilled of like, oh shit.
I'll be a little embarrassed telling people from up north I'm going to Bojangles.
Hey, that's crazy. I didn't even know why the dude at the job when I said he was like, yeah, I ain't never been to Bojangles.
Yeah,
because I had went that morning. I was like, bro, that steak, egg, and cheese. Yeah. It's like that. We said Bojangles.
It's like being like, I went to
Uncle
Tom.
You go to Bojangles?
I didn't even think about it.
I was at Uncle Tom cabin.
I got me a Supreme combo. You get that Supreme combo fresh.
Yeah.
That 5-piece seasoned fried sweet tea.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Buffalo and ranch.
I would say what I want to say, but y'all said I didn't say it too much not to have a promo code.
Yeah. We ain't giving. Bojangles got bugs until we get that promo code.
And I see the YN pull out the blicky.
Yeah. Give us the code, Bojangles.
All right, this is my next one right here. This is how we need our news, man. For real.
Tone say he try to make sure he get all his memes in. Shut the fuck up.
Excuse me, Mr. President. I know I said I ain't want no interruptions, right? Yes, Mr. President. However, this call seems to be very important. Hey. If you see this golf club swinging, I don't care if that phone ringing. Leave me alone. Close the door. Sir, it's Walmart, Target, and Home Depot. They've all been affected by the tariffs, and they want to know if you can take a call at this time to kind of further. Yeah. All right. Yo, what's going on, y'all boys? The big three on my line. This must be an emergency. Hey, whoa, hold on. One at a time. DT, how we supposed to make money when you beefing with the plug? The plug. Who's the plug? Big JP from the east side, man. Stop playing. You mean JP? Listen. I have you know, me and JP, we've been on the phone about these tariffs for the past week. Okay, every day, me and JP, we gonna work it out. We gonna get it together. That ain't what Big JP from the east side said. He said y'all ain't talk. Come on. You gonna believe me or the fake news? It's part of the process. We're gonna make a deal. Who's the best businessman you know? You, man. But trust me, JP gonna fold. He gonna drop them tariffs. We gonna drop them tariffs. Prices gonna go back to normal, and then we could feed the streets like we always do. Mathematics. Roll back them tariffs, so it's your ass, man. Hey, Walmart. I ever let y'all down? I'm business first, baby. I always been business first. So we just supposed to trust you? Trust me. Man, call Gene right now, okay? Call no. I'm going to call him right now. You already know. Because if you don't get on the phone, empty shelves. All right, now. Okay. All right.
Is that
JD? Daddy.
Oh, shit.
JD.
Get China on the phone, please. Hey, guess who calling, y'all? Who, JP from the east side? If this is South Korea, Japan, leave a message. It's DT east side, nigga. Damn it.
If it's DT east side, nigga.
I knew you called back. All right, look. I'm hurting. Your people hurting. My people hurting. Let's just do a good business deal. And come on, stop playing games. Man, that's all I've been asking for, man. Please, let's make a deal, please.
Oh, is that?
Who is this?
Crane?
It's you, Crane, man. Stop playing, man. Crane, look, I ain't got time for that shit right now, bro. We are beefing with the east side. It's money on the line. What you want? You have to tell Russia to chill. They outside right now trying to take Crimea from us. What's Crimea? It's Crimea. It used to be Russia, but it's kind of like Ukraine, and it's like, all I know is we can't get that up. It's on everything. Man, bro, look, Putin don't negotiate. If he want Crimea, just give it to him. You know how them Russian boys get down, man. If they take Crimea, then they gonna take everything. Then what we gonna have left? Yeah. That's tough. That's tough. I'm so sorry, bro. Tariffs first, everything else comes second. Bye, man. Pull your dog, man. Call your dog. Hello?
Yeah, either way, he got a lot of videos like that. Shout out to bro. Like, I actually think that's a good way to get the news. Like, especially if you don't necessarily understand everything going on. He really made it kind of plain there to me.
That was good. But yeah, it was very interesting and informative. But
that shit was a dud. Stop acting like that shit was not just playing.
It was hilarious.
I thought it was pretty good.
Nah, it was all right.
This one, let's see. Y'all can decide. Political ponerology, he got to explain that, but it is an interesting concept. Ponerology. Or white people are losing empathy and compassion for blacks, and you will know racism and oppression.
I like that one.
I don't care for that one.
Yeah, probably. I guess I want to hear religious ponerology.
Political ponerology.
Theology.
Pelagic.
If you felt like the Western world has gone insane over the last decade, you're not wrong. The madness has a name: political ponerology, the study of how psychopaths take over societies. According to Polish psychiatrist Andrew Lobachowski, psychopaths, sociopaths, and individuals with deep psychological disorders infiltrate institutions, not by merit or integrity, but by their unrivaled ability to lie, manipulate, and destroy. The result is pathocracy, a system ruled by the disorder, where moral, competent, and sane people are pushed out, silenced, or destroyed. Here's how it unfolds. Essential psychopaths rise to the top. Lacking empathy, driven by narcissism, manipulation, and sadism, they view society as a playground of power. In a corrupted system, their evil traits aren't a liability, they're an asset. Schizoids serve as the ideological architects. Detached and theoretical, they create inhuman policies with utopian logic. Lockdowns, depopulation agendas, safe supply drug programs, all coldly detached from their human cost. Spellbinders are the charismatic mouthpieces, celebrities, pundits, and influencers who captivate the public with slogans about equity and safety, disguising tyranny as compassion. The spellbound are true believers, hypnotized. These are the foot soldiers of the regime, convinced they're on a moral crusade while defending totalitarianism. Adapted conformists know better, but comply. They just follow orders to keep their jobs, reputations, or social standing, gradually numbing their conscience in the process. The resistors see through it all. They retain empathy and moral clarity, but are hunted, censored, and scapegoated for refusing to kneel. Then there's the bystanders, the majority of the population who are confused or afraid. Some slowly adopt to the regime's norms just to avoid conflict. Their silence enables the system to metastasize. Look around. Violent criminals are freed while whistleblowers exposing government corruption are harassed and threatened. Kids are taught gender dogma while literacy collapses. Bureaucrats push equity while freezing bank accounts. None of this is accidental. It's the end state of ponerogenesis. In a pathocracy, truth is treason, insanity is extremism. The system rewards the disordered and punishes the moral. This is not liberalism, it's not progress, it's a psychological coup. Until we recognize that we're not fighting bad ideas, but pathological people, we will keep losing ground. This is not left versus right, it's sanity versus madness. And until sanity takes power back, the collapse will continue. If you felt...
All right, I know that was a little long.
I got an opinion, but I don't know.
No, I think it's pretty close to accurate of like a description of what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think there are a lot of everybody plays a role in how we've ended up where we are, whether it's a knowing role or unwilling. But I think we've all, even from like the bystanders and stuff like that, yeah, we've all played a role in it. I think it's an interesting breakdown of like interesting POV on society from like a almost like an aerial point of view. So I think it was interesting.
Yeah, I guess in like listening to it and looking at it is like completely different things. So what he was saying, I do think is like a really solid description of a lot of things that we see on both sides. Looking at it though, it was also like a propaganda reel for the right, where everything was put inside the order of like the left does this, the left does that, the left does that. I don't know if y'all was paying attention and looking at it. But like to me, I think that both sides do both things. And like a lot of the things that they were ascribing to the left inside the like the video
could be
sequence of it literally applies right now with the right. And I think that's the only part, because even as he ended, you could tell that whatever that I could look it up, but Blender, I think it was, it's clearly a right-leaning publication. But again, I think that what did he say? Like this, to me, that describes MAGA to a T.
Yeah, I didn't
this group that actually is not based off of a specific like merit of a person, but more so this quote unquote sociopathic or like with which other ology or ethic that you want to put beside it, that is convinced that they're the best and has a lot of loyal followers that are convinced and or will yield to their power in the way that they manipulate power. And within that, you know, like he described a bunch of different things, but I think that does work inside that. There's a bunch of different other parts where I can see the notion that he was pushing towards the left, and I don't think that is false. I would say that this describes the general scope of politics and where it's evolving to, going to Johnny's question last week. But I just didn't like the way that they did the reel, where it was like very intentional of like just this one side.
I didn't really take that from it, like as far as like it was intentional to one side. I think he was speaking on society in general, where it's like you have political, whether Democratic or Republican, a lot of these people who are in these political parties are psychopaths. Like a lot of people who are leading these parties are psychopaths, sociopaths, people who have like.
But I think politics leads to like it being dominated by psychopaths because you almost have to be.
Yeah,
to
so
be
basically,
I literally been saying that for a
so
minute.
basically,
like
it's like our society is being like literally what he was saying. Ponerology was like society being.
Oh no, that's what I said. Like
psychopaths.
Listening and looking with two different things.
I get what you're saying though, but I didn't take that even from the images.
I mean,
like,
he only put up left leaning.
Even when he talked about like gender dogma and stuff like that, it like there's stuff that the right does too that could be called out.
Yeah, but
on the same.
Yeah, I thought he did call out some of it.
On the right, what would you say that he called that on the right?
Shoot, a lot of them as far as like what did he say? Dang, narcissist and stuff.
It
like
could
that.
be applied.
It's a lot of stuff he talked about. It's a lot of stuff he said in there that I think does apply to the right.
No, like, I agree that you're right. I do agree that it applies. They didn't show anything from the right.
I got what you're saying though. But yeah, either way though, I think it goes beyond even just politics. But it's like, well, it applies to politics because there are other people who are outside of politics that still are knowingly or unknowingly participating and pushing it on. So like a lot of the leaders in, like, if you look at music or you look at social media now, because we have a lot of social influencers and stuff like that. When you start looking at these people, you're really paying attention to it. And you don't participate in the sides deal. You kind of really start to see a picture. Like they ain't got it all together to be telling you nothing anyway. Like, like a lot of them are psychopaths. So it's like we've been led by a lot of psychopaths, while a lot of people who do actually have good opinions or who are sane or who have good things to offer, they're either reprimanded, put down, or they don't say anything. Like you don't hear a lot from them because they don't want to deal with the drama or the trouble of people, or the backlash rather. Like they don't want to deal with the backlash. A lot of people don't want to deal with backlash because, I mean, like who wants to deal with people throwing bricks through your house for speaking up on the right thing? So we end up being led by a lot of people who are, and I've always said this. It's like even in class, like I learned it. I figured this out in school because it used to piss me off. It'd be like you'll have this kid who was bad in class and they was always acting up, and then they just decide to be good one day, and the teacher want to give them a reward for being good.
That was me.
And nobody else getting up, but it's like they've been acting up the whole time. We don't never get no rewards, but you gave this person a reward for like they was
just
good
for shutting
today.
the fuck up
for
for
shutting
one
up
day.
for one day. Like,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I did used to go to school, and be like, man, I'm gonna be good all day today, and actually do that shit. And yeah, I used to do that. Like I'll just have a day and be like, yeah, I'm gonna just be good.
That whole
today.
sentiment goes across society, though. It's like people let the people who are like they get the reward. The people who are the loudest, or we want to just keep them in check because we don't want to deal with them disrupting the class. Like we give them the reward, or we set the rules around even those people. The rules are set for the majority based off of the worst people. So yeah, I think I do think that's the thing that we're going through. Any other takes?
No,
I'm done.
Well, it's on you, my boy.
Yeah, I got a couple of them, bro. We can start with we can just go down the line. You can just start from right under the post, the thumbnail from last week. You could just start there.
You said the thumbnail. Which one?
Where the fuck what is you? That's crazy that this joint don't look the same. Do you see the one with the kid with the backwards hat on?
Scroll up.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Yeah, just start there. I don't even remember what this joint was, but yeah, start there.
You told me the other day that you feel like kids should disrespect their parents.
Let me put that in context. How many of you guys in this room would like to raise your children to be strong-minded, independent-thinking, ambitious kids or adults, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if you are going to instill that, part of that is confidence, part of that is voice, part of that is knowing I have value. And when you're teaching your child that, and I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the first place they practice voice is on you guys. Correct. And when I was a kid, my mother, I had 2 brothers. My mother would say, Ellie, go do the dishes. And I would be like, why didn't you ask one of them? And that would get me popped. But if you're teaching your child to be confident, to be strong, to value their voice, they should ask those kinds of questions. And it allows you to parent them. We confuse respect for silence. And I think that's a problem. If I say, go paint the house, and the child says, yes, ma'am, and goes paint, we think, oh, that's such a respectful child. But that same child, if some strong-willed 17-year-old kid in high school says, let's go skip school, they're going to say, yes, sir. Like, we have to teach them to question, why am I painting the house? I should understand the context of the life that I live in.
You told me the other day that you feel like
no, that's a big one. The why.
Yeah,
people run from why, even at work, like, but it starts from like, and I think it's important to like when your kids are young and they ask those why questions. I think that's something my parents did very well. Was they let me ask why to an extent. You know, they was old school. I mean, I couldn't why them to death, but there was a lot of space for me to be able to ask, like, why am I doing this? What's the purpose? You know, to help. I think that's a good thing, because like he just said it, like, as far as like, if you don't teach your kids to question that shit when they go into the real world and they're just followers, whatever's in front of them, they're gonna follow. If they're just blind and they just, yes ma'am, yes sir, and then just shut up, whatever's in front of them, that's how they gonna turn. So you got to put that kind of rebel, that kind of rebellious spirit in your kids at some point in order to, for them to deal with the world, because you have to be able to fight back.
What was that last example he just said? Like, if you tell the child
to paint the house,
go paint, and they just say yes sir, then if somebody tell them to skip school, they're gonna say yes sir too.
Yeah, see, it's the thing is like you can make a great statement, but then be given an example and miss the mark on your example and tear your shit apart.
Dumb.
So the thing is that, so like,
I think it might have been a bad example. I think there was credence to what he was
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, the example was bad, but the actual statement that he was attempting to make was a great step. Well, and so for me is like, I'm trying to figure out the best way I want to go about on each of these different levels of parenting. And so, of course, your kid naturally is going to ask why. And because you allow them to give you the why, then there'll be times where they're asking why when you want to meet that why with consequence, right? And so what I'm noticing is like I'm not acting as if I know what I'm doing as a parent. I accept the fact that I'm learning. So I watch stuff like this, and it actually like gets me flowing to start questioning, like, okay, there are some things that my parents did that I want to bring with me, but like there are also some things that I want to change a bit. You know what I mean? So maybe I want to keep the idea, but I want to, play with it a bit and see what the result of it. Because then just because you come up with this idea and you're like, oh, what they did was bad, and this is the way it made me feel, I'm going to do it this way. That don't mean that you fucking right. Well, you know what I mean? You could still have another, you know what I mean? You could have another.
Well, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So I mean, no matter what you're doing, it's gonna have some effect on them, regardless. So you gotta be mindful of that. You might try to do something, and it might end up having an unintended consequence or the opposite reaction.
Right. And so, like, even with the skipping school thing, I noticed that when I was growing up, I was much more impressionable. I was a lot more impressionable than I should have been at that age. I was also not a child that the wise wasn't in my vocabulary. In my mama house, that shit didn't exist. Ain't no explaining. And if you know what I mean, she was, because I said so, that was the response she was gonna get if you ever said why. So which it didn't, made you not even ask why anyway.
That shit still piss me off to this day. Motherfuckers say because I said so.
Oh yeah. That's just not gonna work.
Still piss me off.
That ain't gonna
work.
Day.
What's crazy? My people bought me like a
1,000 whys.
Yeah.
It was like it was a big ass book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it was a series of books that explained how and why, and then it was just like a bunch of things.
Shit. Yeah,
it had to be like 50, 60 things. Like, this is back in the day when, like, at the crib, They weren't different colors. It was like some main character that everything explained. Like, it could be like photosynthesis. Because I was a Y kid.
I know.
Well, y'all could probably take that from now. Like, I'm gonna ask how something works.
I wore my parents out with the why. They bought me 1,000 whys, and I read that shit and still had like 1,000 more.
Asking why something or like how something works. Asking why in that situation versus asking why when your parent tell you
to go wash the dishes.
To go wash the dish, or hey, I need you to clean the bathroom.
Way different.
Yeah, it's a whole different why. You ain't asking me why I want you to wash. I'm explaining that one time. You gonna know exactly why, because you don't pay no bills in this house.
But that don't teach the kids the importance of, like, if you want somebody to be like a clean person and understand why they're doing that, doesn't teach them the importance.
Yeah, bro, I can see the value
of why you have to
what he said. At the end of the day, you're
I'm going to explain that one time. I'm not going to keep explaining.
But a kid needs stuff explained more. Did you teach your kid how to like potty train once?
See, and this is the thing.
That was a thing,
bro. Like that parenting is very, very nuanced, and it's very, very a place where both answers can be right in balance, with balance. You know what I mean? So this is like, that's what one of the things I love about parenting is because like nobody can be like, oh yeah, this is what you need to do. Motherfucker, that's just not a right answer.
Well, it's not for my child, like, because every other kids are different too.
And it's just not right. It's all just based in the way that you view the outcome that you want. It's you mean your outcome ain't necessarily what my outcome. Like I'm not trying to the outcome ain't necessarily the same. So the way to get to the outcome is gonna be different.
Yeah, but like just looking at it though, like just saying, like for example though, like you look at the kitchen or something like that, and I'm telling my child, hey, we need to wash these dishes every night, because we don't want roaches. So if I done told you that, and you know that, hey, roaches can come in the kitchen if you don't wash the dishes. If I say go in there and wash the dishes, it shouldn't be no why. Why I got to wash? Because you got to wash the dish. That's your role in the house.
But see, you know, the crazy thing too is what I noticed, and this is something that I try to do too, is anytime I'm correcting, I don't correct with anger. You know what I mean? So like you see the level of emotion that you have while you saying it's almost offensive. It's offending me, which is why I'm meeting that with anger.
I don't know. I guess it's because that's kind of how I was raised to some degree.
Yeah, no,
like,
we was raised to say.
And the thing about it though is like I don't feel like that was necessary. Like there were certain aspects I do feel like helped me back, but there or put me in a certain place where I had to learn and like just as a man, there are certain things I had to learn. But that in particular, like. I don't think that lesson necessarily was like bad for me because I did learn a level of respect. I did learn how to speak up. I know who to speak up to because you don't need to speak up to everybody. There's some people who really just be trying to look out for you. You sitting there, it's kind of disrespectful to ask the why. Like you don't even know what's going on.
But not as a child though. I think when we're talking
but
like
I'm talking
kids,
about even as an adult, like bro, like as a child, like children do need to know that. Like I think children have a place, and they do need to know it because you need to be able to listen to. Like we see the result right now of a lot of these children of the free flowing. I'm not disciplining my child. I let them do whatever.
Oh, that ain't what I was saying. I don't know. I'm not making an argument for no discipline.
Yeah, man.
But no, I think Unc said it best though, as far as like sometimes you can't answer the why because of their understanding. And like if it like I understand like if you're 7, 8, you're asking complicated questions.
You don't know the answer.
Like you can't give like a super complicated answer to like.
But my thing is that if you
like
if
what
you
if
know
a 5 and
something-
6 year old asks about sex or like why
the fuck would they be asking about sex?
If they are,
you gotta give me a better example.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Especially with I can tell you,
there's some things where like a kid's not gonna have an understand.
I don't think you like if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you probably don't know it like that. That's my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people say that too. I think I just heard Jordan Peterson talking about that too.
And I tell you what, if a 5-year-old come to you asking you about sex, you may want to explain.
No, you
like,
probably that's a red flag like a motherfucker. You might got some explaining to do for sure.
No, okay, but that's a bad example. But I think there are
found his mother's.
Yeah, no facts though. Yep. Going back to the
got a cousin staying at the house.
Big facts.
Kanye probably asked why I didn't get an answer. That's
possible.
Let me stop.
We got another super chat from so y'all want to read the comment above or
yeah.
below?
Above.
You can do both of them.
Yeah, we can. He said when you become a parent, then you will understand everything that you say, why your parents should have done to you and why they did it to you. Parenting are the police, the teacher. They teaching you to be alive. Parents are the police, though. They teaching you to be alive. They like that's where you learn all your lessons.
But I would also say that, and I agree, but I would also say that there is valid critique through generation to like we all know that the police is necessary, but there's some reform that needs to happen.
That they ain't perfect.
Yeah, it just is what it is, and I think that there's a bunch of things that you can take and be like, all right, I see what they were trying to get to. There's probably a quicker and easier path that I can get there, or a more effective path that I can go to.
While also understanding that even though we may reform policing, it'll never be perfect. That is another piece that makes it. You know what I mean? That's very important to what was being said because like it's you can't put. That's why I say like
just because your parents did it don't mean it was right.
Yeah, and just because you ain't do it,
and just because they did it don't mean it was wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
And hey,
that's a big fact too.
It's one of those things, like I say, parenting is one of those things I've learned to realize that, like, it has to be completely egoless. And one of the things that I love to do is not, like I say, not leading with anger, because like I say, a little kid shouldn't be able to piss you off for real.
Yeah, definitely not on a little kid.
That's something you got something going on if a kid piss
right,
you off.
right, and I think that like. We can easily do is bring work home and the relationship, the tensions that you have with the other place or things that's going along in your life, and it could easily be rubbing off on that why. You see what I'm saying? That why could just be wrong time why.
Right.
And you have, I just like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I love this. This one of those things that keep my wheels turning. Parents.
Yeah, no, I think that like what you're saying is, I think it like it's the nail on the head on a lot of different things where you don't realize the projection that you're doing when you're doing it, and you also don't realize what you're mimicking from your parents until you reflect on it. And so, like, if you're not like quote unquote on some version of conscious parenting, you can just kind of be. You use the word zombie mode, like walking through a lot of it as like you just reciprocating zombie mode that you got from your parents, without critically thinking of like exactly what you're doing and what that impact is. In which, again, I can have moments where I can reflect and be like, "Huh, you was quick triggered there. Why so?" Like you said, your kid could be a certain age, and you be like the easy part is saying it shouldn't. The hard part is it not.
Facts.
Right. So then when you get into reflection mode, it's like, what was the antecedent to that? What made me react at this point? Because shit wasn't that serious.
Yeah.
Or they were just acting a simple thing. And a lot of times it's past conditioning, parenting, and or ego.
Should a little kid really not be able to get on your nerves though? Because bro, they be good.
No, but not get on your nerves. It's actually the anger.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the problem.
yeah.
It's not getting on your nerves. That's gonna happen. Like I don't know too many kids that didn't draw on the wall with crayon. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that wall ain't like the fucking end of the world.
That's what a kid's supposed to do. How many kids have drew on the wall? Like,
and I will say, you probably would get a better reaction. Just like, look, I like your effort. This was nice that you did this, but you don't do this on the wall.
But you're yelling at the kid for being a kid.
I ain't even gotta tell you that I like your effort.
Yeah,
right. I'm just not gonna get like
nah. I might like that.
I'm not giving you a compliment for fucking my shit up, but I'm making sure that I'm not gonna out of anger correct.
Even acknowledging that artist, especially if they did a good job, like even
if you got them,
most kids don't do a good job. Let's be honest, most of them little motherfuckers don't do a good job.
That's the fact.
Should be trash. Like,
hey Tone.
Hey,
so can you solo me real quick?
You about to say something?
What kind of insects you think's on here?
Oh no, bro.
Some tasty, some delicious ones.
Some delicious. Put this motherfucker under the microscope. It's all kind of bugs.
Some tasty motherfuckers.
You did a thing. I was able to get my girl.
Yeah, those
chips,
chips, they definitely got bugs on them too.
Yeah,
I'm a spicy chip guy. Like I like the hot joints. The motherfuckers got some kick to them too.
Hey, Ruffles got a
that's
hot
another
wing,
good chip sandwich.
A hot wing. You ever had the hot wing Ruffles? Elite chip. Elite chip. You got.
I've had the hot wing ones too. I've had those.
Those.
See, the thing about those Ruffles, those hot Ruffles, they kind of taste like death.
I don't know what
that's like it feels like you like they don't taste like they good for you. Like, you know what I mean? You can taste the getting closer to death.
You
when
can
you
taste the GMOs on it. The red 40.
So,
exactly.
It tastes real good.
It's fire, bro.
It's good. It's like, but yeah, I mean, certain shit.
It's like McDonald's. McDonald's be good as hell while you eating it. Then you get done, you be like, did I really have to have 20 nuggets and a Big Mac? Did I really need? But I think we in a good spot though.
To move on.
To go to the next question we got as far as we talking about parenting. We talking about fathers.
Segway King.
We seen what happened to the boy Shaduer. The slide. Man waited 2 whole days.
Slide?
It wasn't a cha-cha slide. It wasn't a cha-cha slide. He wasn't cha-chaing out there. But I just want to know, because there's been different, narratives out there. I just want to know, was the slide justified? Bars. But I don't know if it was it Deion? Was it the interview? Was it his actual play? I got a couple of ideas.
So let me ask you this. Was the statements about him sandbagging a lot of the interviews true?
I believe so, from what I'm hearing.
So you saying that he didn't do well in interviews?
No, he intentionally didn't.
He didn't because he
wanted to go to a specific team, and so he was trying to
manipulate it, and a lot of that came from what I'm hearing, his camp. And it was a lot of like Deion trying to
get him to a specific team,
trying to manipulate the draft or keep certain teams from drafting him in certain spots.
Oh, well, fucking wear it then.
But I've seen a lot of people. I mean, even Trump came in.
I seen that
and was trying to say it's an injustice that he didn't get drafted in the first round, and he's a great talent. And even Trump was saying that. But like, if you go from like,
why do you think Trump said that?
He manipulating the play too.
I'm pretty sure Deion has did something positive for him.
Yeah, he said something about hello to your great dad, your great father, or something.
It's clear.
I don't know what Deion has done. It must not be public, but I haven't seen like anything like from Deion to make me think that Trump would public. I thought it was random, so I don't know if he's.
I can guarantee.
Yeah, that's a guarantee. Trump don't just shout motherfuckers out.
I get it.
But if he says
on
that
the lines of some
good,
but I get it. I haven't seen it though.
Right. You don't play the race card for no reason.
On the lines of some DEI shit.
Yeah. No, that's fact. I mean, it had to be something. It definitely had to be something, but I don't think. But he also didn't go to the combine. Mm-hmm. He didn't throw it to the combine. He only had his pro day.
Is this an outlier? He's an outlier in not going to the combine.
If you ain't going to the combine, you got to be one of them ones.
But then, from what I understood, he was supposed to be one of them ones prior to.
Well, all right, so I guess
that's the.
So Johnny, what side are you taking? You taking that he should have got drafted earlier, right?
No, I think it was.
All right, God damn it. All right,
I think the slide was justified because he didn't do the shit. Like he didn't like he didn't go to combine. He
was dropping his nuts on the league, is what he was doing.
Now I mean, I think that there are certain times where that works if your play.
But you got to be like that, like that.
Be really, really, really like that. And I've seen a lot of people try to make it about race. Cam Ward got drafted number 1. They try to make it about Deion. Deion's player got drafted number 2. Travis Hunter.
Oh, Travis Hunter went too.
The Panthers
picked he almost have as much control with Travis Hunter as he has with his son.
And them boys traded up to get Travis Hunter.
But hold on, Travis Hunter, I've never seen him like come off like this. You know what I mean? Chest out, braggadocious guy. He seems a little bit. He do the interviews.
He's more playful. But what I'm saying is that if it's just Deion,
it can't be.
Deion has his imprint on him.
It can't be
right. On both of them.
Travis would have failed
too. But Deion Sanders' son seems to have more of that Deion in him.
A little bit.
Than Shaduer
But the thing is, if Travis Hunter had that swag, it's cool because he's like that. Shaduer isn't Travis Hunter. Like he can't come in that. You got to be a little more humble. You got to be a little less entitled when you go into that draft because at the end of the day, it's 32 opportunities to get drafted, and you can't. If Cleveland want to draft you, you can't just be like, "Fuck Cleveland." I know New York gonna draft me. Or I know the Steelers gonna draft me because they don't have to draft you, and they could just literally just get mad at like. Not want to deal with your dad and not want to deal with the stuff that comes with you,
and that just add to it. The fact that you was out, you was good, but
you was already borderline, and then this comes. So they said like the fact that he didn't throw it the draft and that like his combine, the combine, and that his athletic profile was already borderline. That probably led to.
That's what I was hearing.
He's probably like the least athletic black quarterback.
I was hearing that like the quarterback position is evolving, and they want that mobile quarterback. That's like the thing that they
he's
want.
Only like
that,
5 something. Like, but they said that his athleticism was probably 1 round him falling, 1 to 2 rounds. Then they said the fact that he bombed the interviews. Led to him going 3rd day instead of 2nd day.
And so I've heard a couple different takes on it, and I guess I can walk through a couple conversations that I've had where something that I did do when he bombed. Well, I mean, most people thought that he was going to get picked 1st round, and so I ended up going to one of like the mock draft scouting little things a day before.
Peyton Manning was way better than
Shaduer.
Yeah. Like you can't even compare that. Peyton and Eli way better.
We'll get there. We'll get there in a second. But they were already saying that if he doesn't get picked at this 21st pick, he's likely going to slide to the 2nd
or probably the 3rd
or maybe later. And again, a lot of that was listed on. This was kind of like a profile that I heard where they were saying that during the season, the NFL doesn't really recruit and look at college athletes because their season runs synonymous with the NFL. So they're not really really diving into the game tape and shit like that. During the season, his profile was up because of, you know what I mean, like
the whole
like
Colorado shit. All of that shit was a lot.
Yeah. So what they said is that when they actually got time to stop and review the tape, you do start seeing the fact that there's a lack of athleticism, a lack of arm throwing,
arm strength.
He
He got accuracy, but he
accuracy and precision. He has that, but he doesn't really have the power. In which he becomes less of a undeniable talent, and a lot of like the baggage that he will and does come with is okay if it's undeniable talent. Like a parallel that you can draw to this would be Lonzo Ball or LaMelo Ball.
Right.
Like they had the loudest dad that was talking shit about NBA owners and college coaches and shit like that. But the big asterisk is that they had I can't miss on this talent.
And there's another asterisk to it too, as far as like what Deion was doing was a little more, I wouldn't say egregious, but him being the coach, he set Shaduer up way better for success.
Well, I was going to get to that in a second.
Yeah,
I think that
Lamar did, because he, even like from the plays they called, everything was set up for him to succeed.
Well, even the players that you would select, because you're selecting for your son versus
it was manufactured for his success, not just necessarily that he was coming in and being the best, but they were literally manufacturing everything around him.
Yeah, and the thing would come down to like, and not making this like a anti-Shadour podcast right here, but another asterisk that you do have to sit and think about when you do put this in like reflection is that Deion coached him from high school, Jackson State, and Colorado. So when you go into like the intangible part, he's actually never had to earn anything. Like he always had the job. Even when he went to Colorado, he said, "I'm coming with expensive baggage. You know, that QB spot, we already got it." Like everywhere he's went, it's been his, and like that's a different thing in comparison to where, like, you can go to them Alabama boys. You fighting third string. They don't care
they don't care who
number
your daddy
3 ranked player inside his class. Like that's Alabama.
Third string of 5 stars,
but they don't care who you think about how many NFL players that went to play for Alabama and sat on that bench.
You think about how many 5 stars.
5-star
is the third option,
and they end up hitting that portal. And that's another.
No, I'm talking about like before portal time.
Yeah, they end up hitting the portal.
Niggas had to wait 3 years just to get 1 year.
No, but
while being the best player at your position for your entire high school career.
Yeah,
that's how niggas used to have.
But a lot of dudes, they do that.
You had to fight to actually get it. Like what's his name, Tua? That nigga, like that concussion shit come from that nigga having to overly earn some shit.
Well, he took the job from Jalen Hurts.
Right.
He took the job from Jalen. They don't care who.
And both of those is NFL players, but
Jalen's the one that had a transfer. He transferred his senior year because Tua already had his job.
But now you don't got to question if he got that dog in.
Jalen won the Super Bowl just now, but like 6-7 years ago, he was transferring out of Bama because Tua took his spot. And so there's that, but that's what they were saying. That there's a little bit of like the reverse nepotism where like his daddy being there actually might have played against him.
Well, his dad just doesn't have enough leverage. Like LeBron's nepotism worked because he still got the leverage.
Yeah,
but if they'd have ran them same plays,
right.
They ran them same plays
right now.
Yeah.
It's different when your dad is. I mean, he's still who he is, but you ain't. But you're not the face of the league.
It's different currently. It's different trying to make the league to be like a backup point guard or something versus trying to come into an NFL and being asked to be the quarterback, the face of the franchise.
Yeah.
And you've never gone through any adversity. I'd be a little skeptical of
saying that he's never been through adversity.
And on the football field, he hasn't.
Yeah, he had to like fight for
a spot. Like he
that means something for sure.
They left Jackson State because there was a lot of adversity with the money and not getting the resources and all of that. That's why they left, because they felt like they didn't get the access, and that's why they left. Argue with it or not, and Deion was right because he got both the boys in the league, and he got Jimmy Horn. The Panthers took Jimmy Horn 7 rounds. He might have went undrafted. But the Deion's so good that he even got that man a job in the league too. So,
well, I don't know if Joe Horn is it Joe Horn Jr.?
Jimmy Horn Jr.
Okay,
we got JC Horn too. Joe Horn was his daddy, but Jimmy Horn Jr.
Okay.
We got 2 Horns on the Panthers now.
Yeah, I was actually the biggest surprise to me is the fact that Shaduer and his brother got drafted in the same round. No, they didn't.
Shiloh didn't.
He was get drafted too.
Shiloh didn't get drafted. I thought Shiloh went undrafted.
No,
what position does his brother play?
Shiloh signed the undrafted.
Let me.
What position does he play?
Shiloh played corner. Shiloh actually played at South Carolina for a little bit. Deion, before he became a coach at Jackson State, he was big up in South Carolina. He was all at the campus and shouting us out.
They didn't give him that job. He took his ass to South Carolina.
He took his ass to Jackson State.
Yeah,
hey, but you know the crazy thing is like we gotta live. We have to correct this, bro. Too. This is something that we need to correct. In the culture, we don't need to blame everything on racism every time we see somebody that's black not get their way, because it's going to be OD. See, anytime you, it's like crying wolf. We all heard the
not
story.
Even OD. It lacks accountability. Like if you think, I didn't get the job because I'm black,
OD,
you didn't get it because you didn't get it not because you black, because you bombed the interview, because you didn't do the combine. It's all these other things outside of you just being black.
Right. And that's the point. Just like, and oftentimes you'll see that this everything that comes up, the first thing we want to do is go throw the race card, and it's like, bro, there's other reasons. Like, let's not use that as the go-to answer, but without even information. Like I ain't know nothing about it. You know what I mean? I ain't really. I heard that he didn't. That he about him being later, and I heard them talk about he was so good but I never knew. But listen to y'all, I know y'all watch the shit.
He's not an undeniable talent.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. Like he's regular hype, under average. Well, maybe average arm strength.
I will say
like over average precision. But when you think about Cam Newton, for example,
undeniable.
It's undeniable. Like you don't pass on Cam. This is a 6'6", tight end built, fast running, big arm having, just won the national championship.
No, fuck that. Even the dude Cam Ward, the guy that got drafted number 1, he's a can't miss. The motherfucker is the cool.
Yeah, like, Shaduer asked him. He said, "You want to make a song?" He said, "I'm a football player, bro."
Who asked him to make a song?
You know they was working out together. It's tapes of when Shaduer, Cam and Cam Ward was having workouts together.
No, Shaduer and Cam Ward.
Yeah.
And who asked who to make the song?
Shaduer had to be the one to ask.
Shaduer asked him.
Yeah.
Oh, but now I heard Shaduer now after the thing, he was talking about giving up his rap career to play football.
You think?
But now,
you think, nigga?
Cold blooded. God damn.
What the fuck? Why are we still having this conversation?
Yeah. That seemed like a 1-to-1 right there.
I'm saying Miles Bridges got a tape.
Yeah, but he's already in the league.
I'm just joking, bro. But the Hornets.
Steve said because of his pops. They have been in the Discord. I think I probably have an unpopular opinion.
It's not because of his pops. Well, a little bit.
I think
a little bit.
To me, a piece of it is that his baggage, in my opinion, didn't match like the talent where it's undeniable enough. I did hear like other people, because Deion does have a big platform, in which Shaduer does have a big platform as well. He's a fairly I don't want to put like the word privilege or entitled kid.
He's influential,
but he's influential.
I mean, everybody was throwing up the rollie last year. That was off Shaduer.
And the thing is that a lot of teams aren't going. It's like the Tebow effect. Like, could Tebow have been a backup for teams for years? For sure. The issue is that if you bring Tim Tebow onto your team, his popularity is going to force a quarterback conversation, no matter how good the person in front of him is.
Is he still in the league?
But they even tried to put Tebow at tight end a little bit. And damn. It was a big deal about that, because they was like, he just made it because he's a Tebow, and then he didn't get a real. They were scrutinizing even that.
But like, because he like his fame was way bigger than his talent. I ain't saying that it's as egregious as that, but with the baggage that comes with Deion, his voice, and how he, if he chooses to, can critique with his platforms, I think that could scare off, especially if Shaduer isn't a wow factor quarterback. Like, he's more like he's the 1.0 to where we're at a 2.0. During the time where like the Peyton Mannings and like the game, I ain't gonna call him a game manager, but like the more traditional quarterbacks made more sense. Like, he probably would have went second, first round. Right now, the new prototype is like you even had the white boys that run and pass.
Justin Herbert.
Or what's the dude and even at the Bills?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, like these they got big white boys that run and pass now.
Country fed white boys.
The new update is that you got to run and pass.
Yeah,
be able to do the play action. You got to do all those things. He's more,
do you
if you can't, you got to be able to have a hell of an arm.
One of them mother.
You got to have an arm.
Do you think that they actually expected for him to like they actually expected for him to go so high?
Well, originally, like there was a time where he was projected top 10,
top 5, because the teams that needed quarterbacks were in the top 5.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, what's funny is that one of the teams is still the team that he got drafted to. It was just 5 rounds later.
Yeah,
and they drafted another quarterback, so they got like even if he is that good, they got a deal.
Oh, the thing is, the nigga got to fight now.
They got a deal.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Well, they got 5 quarterbacks there. They got
I thought it was 4.
They got Joe Flacco. They got Deshaun Watson.
No, I think Deshaun gone.
No, he's still there on the team. He's still on. Like they're moving on from him. Yeah, they're moving on from him. He's still under contract. They got another white boy. They drafted Dylan Gabriel, and then so it's 5 quarterbacks. Like he might not even be. He might not realistically.
But the thing is, it's
he might not even
caliber.
He might not even be on the team come August. Realistically,
I think he'll be there because Deshaun Watson's not. And I'm gonna put my money that he's gonna beat out the other kid.
Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel was on a better team last year, and like.
What does that mean?
That he has more experience winning than Shaduer.
I think I'm gonna put my money that Shaduer is gonna be able to beat him out.
Dylan Gabriel's fine. I mean, he could throw too. I watched a couple of his games. He impressed me. I've watched it. It was like, cause I ain't never watched him until like the playoffs last year.
Fuck it, send him to the Panthers.
Cause he
will take him. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
I mean,
put some fire on that boy, Bryce.
On Bryce Young. That would be. That's what they did to
they
him.
both small quarterbacks though, but whatever.
He way bigger than Bryce.
What he's like 6'2"?
He's 6'1", 6'2". Bryce like 5'9".
Yeah.
Oh, we got a 5'9" quarterback.
Yeah, he like real small.
Oh, that's funny.
But 6'2" ain't like
how long he been that quarterback?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
he been buzzed both years.
And he don't run.
Well, he was solid. He turned the corner last year towards the end.
He got benched though before he turned the corner. They sat his ass down.
But also like in his defense, quarterbacks aren't going to be. They're naturally not good until like their second or third year. Like any starting quarterback, they're not going to have a winning record. Like it's my bet. Not saying that they're not, because that Redskin boy just went crazy. But like it's usually rare. Like now you're talking like the Dan Marinos and shit like that, where like there's these 1 out of every 10 years that you'll get a rookie quarterback. Maybe Ben Roethlisberger was one of them too.
Andrew Luck was like the last one.
Yeah,
and Cam Newton and then Andrew Luck was like the last.
But Cam Newton didn't win like that. They didn't go to the playoffs his first year. He broke a couple of little records and
I
shit
think
like
Andrew
that.
Luck might have. CJ Stroud did last year.
Yeah.
He took Houston.
Yeah, Houston. And then you had the Redskin boy this year. But
I thought you were talking about a light. Oh, he is still light skinned, but I thought you.
Oh my bad. That's not their name no more.
Commanders. I thought
Damn.
I thought you was calling
I'm accidental racist. Damn, that was crazy. That was actually crazy. I said it like 4 times. Why you ain't stop me?
I was like, that don't sound right. I was like, wait a minute. We ain't supposed to be.
My bad. I'm talking about the Commanders.
Hey, that shit sounds so natural to me because the Commanders still sounds weird to me.
Yeah.
It took me 3 times. Like, he ain't supposed to be saying that. He ain't supposed to be saying that.
It looked like we got a call in the back. Talk to us.
What up,
It was good. How everybody doing today?
What up?
Blessings
Talk about
to
that.
everyone.
What y'all called it? The Ruge.
I ain't gonna go. I'm not gonna go in on Shakur and everything that's going on with him or whatever.
Talk about Stevenson.
What's your name? Shadur.
Shadur. What up?
Okay, yeah. But anyway, what I'm saying is that it is what it is with that. But I just got a couple of things. We going through everything y'all said, right? I got a pad.
I know. Yeah.
That's what's up. I done fucked up this week.
Listen what I'm going to say. Kanye is just a clout chaser, and you can't take what he gonna say from one day to the next. That boy is either crazy, a genius, or a crazy genius, or he just
I don't be putting that genius word on this.
He's just crazy.
He wants some attention. He like a woman that used to be pretty.
but now
like
she
a
done got
woman.
old and she is undesirable. You know
And
what
she
I'm
ain't learned
saying?
how to deal with it yet.
She's an undesirable, and he's an undesirable now, and he
Hey,
still
that's a
thinks
rough
that
time in a
it's a
person's
rough
life.
time for him once you went from size 26 to then 44. It's a different time. Sometimes things happen. It's life. Ain't nobody checking for him no more. Ain't nobody gonna listen to that bullshit he's saying. But anyway, we gonna go from that to with the China thing. You know what I'm saying? China, the president said, you know what I mean? The president said, or I think it was the president or whoever that is that be talking. He said that they've been around for 5,000 years, right? And they've been thriving for 5,000 years, whether it was poor or people doing this or whatever. And they have all the people they have in there. Why are they worried about a country that's less than 400 years old? Oh, he did a bar on that one. That was a bar right there. Why are you worried about a country that's like this or that, whatever? When, you know, they sitting where they at economically. And also he said
We
that
have dynasties that's older than how long y'all been out.
exactly, but he took it from, we used to be farmers, number one in farming, and we used to be top farmers and stuff like this. Now we number one in technology, which runs the world. So with him saying that, I don't know, you know.
Hold on, hey, real quick.
Yes.
Johnny, how you feel about that?
Feel about
The Chinese.
Yeah.
I'm
dragging right now. He said the Chinese used to be the best. Like they was the best fighters at one point in time. Then they moved. They was the best farmers. Now they best at tech.
I mean, it's a billion of them. They got a billion of them, bro. It's like a billion of them.
Drop bars. If this was a versus battle, he won already off that first one. You know what I'm saying? Versus, he did it. Oh, he shut him down. Trump
China
snapped
versus
his
America.
wings off his head.
China won.
Just scratched his bald head and threw his wig back on. You know what I'm saying? Ah, damn, that nigga ain't say that to me. You can't talk to me like that. I'm Trump. I'm talking to him right now. I'm talking to him.
All right, what else you got?
And they're very intelligent people. That's what Trump said. Yeah, I was saying about you know what I'm saying, you can't be friends sometimes with older friends. As you get older, you'll see that. Because your lifestyles change, you know? And you're gonna have friends that still want to do the things you were doing when you were younger. And they might not be, you know, struggling for this, that, whatever, but your mindset isn't the same. So you're not as close to them as you used to be. But that don't pull the love away from the two of y'all. You know what I mean? Or whatever, how many of them it is. But you can't hang with them like you used to because you got your old lady now. And you don't want that. You know what I mean? And it's sad to say like that because you got her and things of that, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Hell,
It's not sad. That's just the reality.
Yeah, I'm about to say Tupac got a
song.
song they talk about that. I forget the name of the song.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. That's Tupac. He got a song.
If you got a homie that's hot because you starting a family and ain't got as much time for him as you did when you were a single man.
But it ain't even
Tupac said he converted.
Around. It's the things that you're gonna be around. And see, you have to find an equal yoke woman that's equal that, because in today's society, it's women that won't leave their friends alone that's hot in the ass. Hoes. Women that got still doing that, still twerking. You 42 years old.
Them city girls be mad one of them get recruited.
Your old big ass down somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? But they still hang with them, and they go, this my girl. This been my girl since the third grade. Your girl ain't learned shit since the third grade.
They've been friends through two divorces.
Exactly. No, she ain't had no divorces. 3 baby daddies. That's what she had.
Worse.
You know what I'm talking about? That's the type of thing I'm saying.
Oh, damn.
You know
Can
what
I
I'm
get
saying?
one? Never mind.
Go ahead. No, say what you're saying.
No. This was gonna be a whole nother conversation. We'll wait till next week.
And I think that, you know what I'm saying, it's unhealthy sometimes for people to have, for children to have too many friends that's not of the same race they are.
Where are these statements coming from?
Yeah, damn, that was just threw me off. Like, say that again.
You say you can't have white friends?
What?
I'm going crazy. Right?
White friends.
He was
I'm
like,
trying to understand where they start. Where they
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Shit just turned up out of nowhere.
You say you see Johnny and Trey.
What I'm saying by that is that this right here. You have a lot of perspectives that comes from a community that you're not around. And when a child has that, you have to put so much energy into that child. Look, you can't do that. You're not white. You can't do that. You can't do that. And it's a lot of you can't do that. Come around from it. You can't do that. And
I think we can do a lot of stuff they can do now.
You can do a lot of things. Except be around niggas. You as a black man never learn how to be around niggas. You a fucked up person.
He said you can just be around some niggas.
You cannot be. You can, but if you're not around niggas, you never gonna learn what niggas do. So you gonna be that goddamn spacey head nigga. You gonna be fucked up all the time and get fucked out of everything with that. That's real life. You know what I'm saying?
No, we got you. Land the plane with one last one. I know you got a couple more, but we a little over time.
No,
Don't land
it like Delta.
I'm gonna land the plane. Hold on, I'm landing it. I'm landing it, and I'm gonna land it in the water.
Okay,
that's Delta.
You know what I'm talking about? Now, and this is it right here. Y'all talk about, you know what I'm saying, Johnny was talking about, what old heads ain't doing this or that, whatever. Johnny. Johnny.
I know we was in the room game.
Your granddaddy got your grandma, didn't he? He was doing some things now. And they've been passing it down generation to generation now. I got some shit I could teach y'all. They goddamn make goddamn. You got your old lady now. You think she love you now?
Tell about that Nintendo controller.
Hey, I'm gonna get with you, man. I need some Ruge lessons.
She gonna love you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You do it once. You ain't gotta do it all the time. You do it once. You got to love about 3-4 months. You got them expanding between this. Because Steve said I might have carpal tunnel, but no, you don't. You don't dunk a ball.
Hey, them young boys doing it every night though.
And that's why, because them young girls doing it all day. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they don't have that pressure. You don't have that pressure spring behind it. You know what I mean?
Got that grip on it.
You do that. You get that carpal tunnel with the hand. Then you get them hip surgery with the hips. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying his thrust game is on another level.
When you get to my age, both of y'all got bad hips, bad backs, and everything. You got about 45, 55 seconds of good things after that. Then you got to know how to make love.
Gotta know how to make love.
On the side.
Well, yeah, you gotta get it from the side, so that way your knees, so you preserve your knees.
All right, we appreciate you.
Hey, I'm at the Unc might know something.
Let me see what it say. LTO, she said 3 to 4 months.
She ain't going, Unc.
Steve say Unc freaked out.
Oh man, that was a good one. That was a good one. Y'all boys got any last words?
We good, bro.
I appreciate y'all tapping in with us before we get up out of here. I want to tell y'all to hit the like button. Leave us a comment below. Please check us out. We'll be back Wednesday. We'll be back Saturday, 8:30. Who you talking to? And you can catch us here next week, 4:30 for the To Be Fair Show. Follow us on all socials at the To Be Fair Show. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. I am your host, Johnny
I do got
P.
one quick one. No, this ain't a wild one. I ain't gonna shout out y'all OnlyFans or nothing. But what I would say is that shout out to everybody that follows Unpack, another show on the channel. We do have the Discord that is open. This is where we have a lot of fun conversations. Shout out Steve. Steve's in the Discord. Feel free to follow. I'll put the link inside the description of this video. After the video finishes up, And join the Discord if you want to chat with us throughout the week. Again, there's no telling where the conversation might go, but we do love the engagement with the fans. And yeah, that's the quick little tidbit. I'll throw the Discord in there. We'll probably start adding a couple different channels to it. I'm old heading my way around Discord, but I think you're able to kind of like make a server, and then from there you can have different channels.
pages.
So it might be a To Be Fair channel on the Discord coming soon. I think it's already unpacked. We'll kind of figure our way around it, but nonetheless, need y'all join the Discord for the channel.
I'm your host, Johnny P.
Oh, here, real.
It's Q,
and we out.